Welcome back to Sports Prophecy TV, guys. I'm your host, Jay Taylor. And today we have a quite interesting video that we need to dive into. As you know, the fans have been, there has been a lot of discussion around these two players, guys. There are a lot of fans who are concerned, I would say, about whether or not any local player will be able to make this Reggae Boy squad. But as you know, players like Trivante Stewart and Colin Anderson, these two players have been making a name for themselves basically in the local league in Jamaica. A lot of fans are up in arms and they're saying that these players deserve to have a spot in the squad. No, let me just look at these two players separately. I watched the game the other night with Mount Pleasant, and I have to say, the goals that Trivante Stewart scored were top quality goals at every level of football. Can he do that at the highest level? That's up for debate. However, that first goal, if you look at how he scored that first goal, this is what top coaches would ask your striker to do is to get the ball. Your first touch is in a good spot to where you could get that shot off. And he did all those things brilliantly where he got the football and the next motion was to get the ball in the goal. So I have to give Trevante Stewart credit on those on that first goal that he scored. No, the second goal that he scored was a really, really good goal. To me, it's almost like a old school type of goal. The second goal that Trevante scored is the kind of goal you ask. This is the kind of goal you used to see in football where your striker post up on the defender, turn and shoot the football. I would say it's the quintessential striker's goal, that second goal. So I have to say he has shown the ability to basically score in different ways. He got that ball in the box. His first touch was very good, and he got the ball in the back of the net. However, will he be able to break into this Jamaica Gold Cup team? This is another situation because if you look at the strikers where we have a Mikel Antonio and you have a Shamar Nicholson, I'm still looking to see where does a Trevante Stewart fit into the team. However, I think he's making a good statement for himself. I think he will be there for these two friendly games, especially if the Jamaican head coach Haimar Harlgrimson was at that game. I knew he would have been excited to see the local striker looking so clinical in front of goal. No, Colin Anderson. We're going to get back to see how both players can basically make it into the team and see if these players have an opportunity to get in. No, Colin Anderson. Colin Anderson, to me, it's a little bit like that Junior Fleming situation where he started out playing football late. He was basically a track and field athlete, and you can see it written all over his game. He is very fast, very physical, but you also see that he lacks some of the football knowledge and the football touch that he needs to be a rounded striker. So I don't think Colin Anderson will make it into this Gold Cup squad. I think he has some ways to go as he has the speed and he's very physical, but I think he lacks that next football. He lacks the football edge. Ian Campbell says, deserve a spot in which Gold Cup squad? Well, Ian Campbell, a lot of fans would say that these two players deserve a spot in the squad. I'm putting it out there for discussion because if you've seen that game with Trevante Stewart, if you were a scout and you came to Jamaica and you saw Trevante Stewart score those two goals, you might leave Jamaica thinking you found a potential good quality striker. Anthony Hutchinson says a star in tier 4 football is not justification for a national call up, especially one flashing off referees and the like shows the inappropriate mentality. Well, but talk to me now, Anthony Hutchinson. If you were a scout and you didn't know anything about you didn't, let's say you didn't know much about the player, and you went to Jamaica and you're looking for talent, and you saw that game with Mount Pleasant and you saw Trivante Stewart scoring those goals. What would you think? Would you think, yo, potentially we got another, this is a quality striker? You have to say the guy has been one of the best players in the league this season. Chris Smith just arrived. Big up yourself, Chris Smith. Chris Smith just arrived in the place, people. You know when Chris Smith arrived, no local ball and no safe, because Chris Smith are gonna come with the statistics them, and Chris Smith I go tell you why them ball are enough if they know when you're near the side. Chris Smith say over who? Mikel Antonio, Jamal Lowe, Boza. You're talking out to put them in. No, I'm saying Chris Smith. We also have to be fair. Fun and joke aside, people. We have to be fair when it comes on to local based players. We have to be fair on how we are judging the team. As I said, I named my team the other night, and none of these players were there. Some of them were in the reserves. But looking at the game the other night, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, these players are basically performing at the highest level in their competition. Trivante Stewart, he looked, as I said, that second goal that he scored was that it's that quintessential goal from your striker. You don't see those kind of goals that much anymore in football. Most of the goals you see in football from strikers these days are strikers in space or latching onto the football coming in on a cross. You rarely see striker post up defenders like that in the modern game. That's how they used to train strikers to score, is to post up, lean on the defender, turn and shoot. That's one of the first things you learn as a striker. Or if you're playing Manning Cup or the Costa Cup football, that's how they want the strikers to play. Rest back on the defender, turn and shoot. And that's where you have to have a good ball control. And he executed those things very well. Chris Smith says, I saw Bygrave mash up the JPL and go to Vietnam. What did he do? But again, again, Chris Smith, we have to be honest. We can't use one player to judge another player because, and listen, I haven't made up my mind on this, and I'm not saying Trivante is going to be in the squad, but let's look at it this way. If an English based player, we saw them go to a club and they failed, we can't say the rest of the English based players are no good. Ravel Morris have been to many clubs where he failed. We can't say rest of the English based players are no good. However, I do think when players get an opportunity to go overseas and you end up back in Jamaica, your career is going in the wrong direction. That is something that I will stick to. When you get a chance to go overseas and you start and you head back to Jamaica, your career is going in the wrong direction. Chris Smith say, I'm being honest. Who are you going to drop? Mikel Antonio, Jamal Lowe, or Boza? Well, that's the thing. The coach might even leave I wouldn't leave a Jamal Lowe, but you might see the coach challenge a Corey Burke. Let's say Trivante ends up in the mini tournament in Austria. He scored two of those brilliant goals, and then you have to make the decision between Trivante Stewart and Corey Burke. It's going to be a very close one because I haven't seen much that Corey Burke has done in the past couple of months when it comes on to football. Um, JD, JD running. JD said Trivante over Whisper or Paris. I could see Trivante getting it. All right. So, and remember, guys, this is not going to be a very long stream. Today, my daughter was a bit sick, and I didn't get to go to work, and I don't want to do the late stream tonight or anything, but I wanted to touch on this topic. Um, JD comes in with a different perspective on this. JD is saying Trivante over Whisper Paris. I could see Trivante getting in. Yeah, I could see Trivante getting in over a few players, guys. You see what I mean? Can't JT stop. Jamal can't be dropped for none of these players. No, JD, I'm not. As I said, Jamal Lowe, as you know, has been one of my favorite players. People, Jamal Lowe has been one of my favorite players, people. Jamal Lowe has been one of my favorite players. And let me just be honest with it. I'm trying to think from the coach's point of view, people. From the coach's point of view, let's think from the coach's point of view. Which one of these players which one of these players can we say is, which one of these players can we say, even my screen is a bit messed up today, guys. I was so not prepared for this stream. I'm going to be very honest with you, people. I was not prepared. I didn't want to do a short video, but I wanted to just have this quick discussion about Trivante Stewart and these people. Bless up Jay Suguna. No, what is the coach thinking we maxed it football? What is the coach thinking Jay Suguna? What is the coach thinking Chris Smith? If the coach was at that game, big up yourself, El Petrino. If the coach was at that Mount Pleasant game and he saw Trivante Stewart scoring those 2 goals, don't you think that might put a thought in the coach's head like, this player just needs an opportunity and this player needs this and that for him to get to the next level? So we have to think about how the coach is going to look at it. Us as fans, however, who watches top flight football week in and week out would say that we can't bring Trivante Stewart, but the coach might think differently and say that the player looks like a player that just needs a few more things to get better. Jermaine Miller said JD has no ratings for local players. Don't cuss. No. When I do worry them forward in. Not what you're saying. The coach know about reaction and spacing. But JD, if you saw the 2 goals that Trivante Stewart scored, I think those 2 goals are very good goals in any form of football. In any form of football, those are 2 good goals. However, when he gets up to another level, the level of defending it's gonna get higher. Chris Smith said, JT, I'm still asking, who are you going to drop? Chris Smith, I'm not going to pick the squad, and that's what I'm trying to say. I would drop Corey Burke. I would take him over Corey Burke based on the fact that he's in form. But I'm not just going to take him over Corey Burke just like that. I would give him an opportunity in the 2 friendly games. And if he performs this well in the 2 friendly games, Chris Smith, what do you do? Because me have to ask that question as well, Form is one thing, Players getting in the squad on name is one thing, but players getting in the squad on having good form is another thing. The player is in pretty good form. We can say, however, his time that we saw him in those 2 friendly games for Jamaica, he wasn't the best. And see, the number 1 Trivante Stewart fan just arrived. See, Wells just arrived there. So Wells is the man who has been pushing for Trivante Stewart to be in the squad. All right. Maxi said, I have watched the game, JT. I can't. Hold on. Let me see what JD is saying here. He said, I have watched the game and that can't happen in no level of football. Very sorry, bossy. We should stop disrespect high-level football. Jesus Christ. Omar Fowling saying, poor defending. Jason Guna, all right. You're going to pick Trivante Stewart over Corey Burke? It's close. This is, all right. Mr. Revolution, this is where I'm saying, I'm not making any judgment because I put out my squad the other night, the players that I would have gone for. But no, that's another thing about football. Trivante Stewart performed very well in that game. Even the Arnett Garden coach said that his team wasn't able to deal with Trivante Stewart. We know though that a lot of local players who has dominated has struggled when they get to the international level. And we can't compare Trivante Stewart and Bygraves. They're not the same striker. I don't think Bygraves and Stewart is the same kind of striker, people. I think Stewart gives you a bit more off the football, running. Bygraves to me is a more stand alone striker, and some of the goals that Bygraves got were clear cut opportunities. Trivante Stewart's two goals were created by him. If you look at that, I have to keep that in in consideration. That second goal for me was an amazing goal because that second goal took me back to when growing up watching football, start playing under 16 football. That's what they teach strikers. You don't see that in football like anymore, where you post up on the defender and turn and shoot. Everybody know that you want your striker to be able to do that. Go watch some highlights of the other players in the list, because it looked like true. You see Stewart, more recent, you forgot. Yo, Jay Seguna, ona deal with me so. Click the Discord link, people. The Discord link is there. People, me not set you want to Stewart in the squad, you know. What I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to do here, guys, is I'm trying to create a level playing field to have the discussion. I'm trying to create a level playing field to have the discussion where we don't just say everybody, we fling everybody to the side and just say, yo, them no good. We have to also keep an eye open for if there's a player that potentially can make the squad that we can work with to get some work done. I don't see one JPL players ready for this international, ready for international football. Mr. Revolution said, JT, level matters, bro. A player dominating JPL doesn't equate to doing well. I totally agree. Mr. Revolution, me not disagree with nobody in the comment section. As I said, what I'm doing here is I'm setting the precedent for having a level field discussion where we discuss it from an honest place, where we don't just say, okay, none of the yard man them no good, him can't come. You see me I say? We can't just do that, people. We can't just do that, people. We have to be fair, people. We have to be fair. After the discussion, as I can see, 90% of the fans thinks that he's not ready to be a part of the squad. 90% of the comments that I'm seeing thinks that is one person. Wells thinks that Trivante Stewart should be there. We Maxi say, my conversation always come from facts and coaching. So, Jermaine, it's not a Jamaican loving thing. Reality is reality. Prove me wrong. All right, we have somebody in the Discord. I think is this JD? Oh, hold on. I think I have to unmute my mic. Is this JD?
Yes, this is JD, Mr. JT.
I say
Are you hear me?
you look young and fly up on the photo, mess.
Yeah, back in the days when I'm young and rich, before,
Yeah, you look young and rich.
Yeah,
No,
so yeah, man.
JD,
I
you
don't
seen
think
the
anyone.
game?
I think yes, I saw the game, but I'm saying in real world football or high level football, that's what the difference is. Spacing and reaction time. Sometimes you're just if you're not at the highest stamina level, you
Mm-hmm.
can't get into the position in the first place. And that's why I said, if it's down to Paris and Whisper, yes, I would have picked Travante because Travante would have been the third outlet as a striker because we don't have so much out and out strikers. We have pure wingers and wing
Mm-hmm.
forwards. So
Yes.
that's why I said that. So I agreed with you to a certain extent. So it's not people fighting against Travante or nothing. And nobody not saying about any JPL. People are saying that who is he going to go in for? And that is what persons want the answer. Like who you think he would have gone in for? And that always come to the position that
Mm-hmm.
they're playing, which they're playing a striker. You expect to add a striker or take it out a winger. So that's what people asking you. They're
Okay.
not fight about JFF or JPL or nothing. They're just asking who you would take him out for.
and this is what I'm saying, JD. I would give him an opportunity in the friendly games, and
Mm.
basically his spot would come down to him and Corey Burke's performance.
Okay, but
JT,
friendly game is 30. Friendly games is 30 players, and
Mm-hmm.
you require 23. Obviously, he should be one of those personnel to
Mm-hmm.
make the 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. You have to have people outside of all of your three thirds, midfield, defensive, and attacking. So you're gonna need an extra centre back. You're gonna need an extra right back, an extra midfielder, and an extra striker to see if you have any problem, you can switch out. You get me? That's why you brought 30 and that's why you're having the actual
And
friendly. So
JD, oh me make
I
you
agree
set
with
me
that.
up.
but
Wait, the JD, hold on, Siobhan. How me make you set me up a while ago, brother? But actually,
Oh,
make
oh, 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 with what?
no, me make you set me up. Make the people them things that me I said Trivante in the squad. People,
No, 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 I never said that. I never said that
no, no,
either.
no, no,
I
no,
can't
man.
see the chat, I can't see the chat,
No, I joke.
Remember, I'm
Yeah, no,
bad.
I joke, remember JD. But here, what me I say, you see, because you said to me, the fans them want to know who I would bring him in
Yes,
for. So
yes.
guess what the fans them actually thinking? I think based on the video, the fans are
Uh-huh.
thinking that I'm saying that Trivante Stewart should be in the squad.
No, you're asking a question, but JT, if you ask a question,
Mm-hmm.
you should already have your answer to it as well. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't cap out and just come and ask the question and then left a bag of war, make everybody head spin. You need to get put on the spot too. So you need to tell me how you don't work it out too. Not bad way up and then cut.
All right, and
all
this
right,
is
no,
me I gonna
my
let you in,
time.
Siobhan. Let me
Hold
just
on
make
there.
that one point, Siobhan.
Me listen up on the screen. All right?
All right, may I make that point, Siobhan, and let you in. Blessings, JD. Thanks for coming through. What I'm saying, Siobhan, is based on his form. You were at the game as well, Siobhan. You was at the game, so you're
Yes, so
gonna
let me
give
make
me.
my point real quick. Hold on,
Okay,
let me make my point
all
real
right,
quick.
go ahead.
Trivante or Colin Anderson cannot go to Austria. The man
Okay,
them have a final Sunday, and the team is arriving on Sunday.
okay. Big information, guys. Big information. So it's safe to say that these two players won't be a part of the Gold Cup squad then, because you're saying that the team arrives in Austria on Sunday.
And they have a final on
And
Sunday.
they have a final on Sunday. So there's no way for them to meet up with the team later.
Unless them are going to skip the final.
No, what about Monday after the finals?
Monday after the final. All right. So when is the game?
The game is on the 15th. So the 15th
And
is the 15th is, oh crap. That's Thursday. The 15th is next Thursday is the first game.
next Thursday. So unless them are going to reach late then.
Yes, so if they reach Monday, they would be able to play on at least in the game on the 19th. And I think those two players just need one game. And I think it's only one game they would have really be involved in anyways. Detonation say, good point, JD. I was looking forward to class this morning. On a big up on yourself. Big up yourself, Detonation. Jason Guna says, so plane stop travel on Saturday. Norman Campbell and Kenroy Campbell should be in the roster. So, all right, if let's say they didn't have the finals, based on your the performances that you saw at the game, Siobhan, do you think Trivante Stewart is making a statement for himself, or that he should at
For
least
the
get a look
Gold
in?
Cup or for the Gold Cup or for the friendly?
For the Gold Cup.
For the Gold Cup, no. For the friendly, yeah.
Okay. So for the friendlies, you don't see him as Gold Cup material.
All right. So despite the great performance, someone said it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only play against who's in front of you, right? You can
Yes.
only score against who's in front of you.
Yeah.
But the yes, despite all of that, you still saw flaws in this game. We're on an international level. It wouldn't be good enough. If you
Yeah.
want to have him as our backup striker,
Mm.
but I think the other strikers in the pool, I
Yeah.
think they're actually better than Trivante.
And this
So
is
out
what
of
I'm
all,
saying. Siobhan, the problem I saw with Trivante Stewart in the Trinidad game, he seems like he's still trying to figure it out. I don't think he's as sure of himself. Um, he's not he's not I will say now assertive enough in his game. He's not sure of what he wants to do. When I saw him running off the ball in the Trinidad game, he just looked like he was out there playing off adrenaline, similar to Colin Anderson. Let's touch on Colin Anderson. As I said, Colin Anderson, it doesn't get more raw talent than Colin Anderson.
Yeah. I can what I can say, what I can give the two of them respect for. You can see the fight. They're both willing and they're hungry. You know them. You know those goal hungry forwards.
Yeah.
I saw that Sunday. I saw that with them. I saw that with them. Like every time that them when them get the ball, I have to say, comparing to the Trinidad game and to the game I saw Sunday, there were two different players.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of persons might say that, hey, the quality of the opponents would have been different, which is true. So that's why I said that it would be difficult. That's why I said the friendly, yeah. But if you just pick up now, if you just pick them up right now and say, yo, you met the Gold Cup squad, I can't say that because I have to see them play against non-JPL opponents. If you get what I mean. I have to see them play against international opponents. I can't just get up and say, yo, all right, because they were great in the JPL.
Yeah.
Because we can all admit that some persons might, not everybody can say, the JPL doesn't have any, JPL defenders aren't world class, or even say CONCACAF dominant class. So I think most of us can agree on that. So to say that the strikers, they would have dominated the JPL defenders, yeah, that's good. But can you dominate CONCACAF defenders?
And
So
Wells, nobody. Big up yourself. Martin Baker just joined the Discord. Wells.
Yeah, man, big up Trevor and
Wells, nobody now hold down no player, brother. Wells, we now hold down no player, Mg. We're having a discussion, an honest discussion. Siobhan was even at the game, and here Siobhan just said to you that he saw flaws in his game that he thought that this would potentially affect the player at a higher level. So you have to listen. Wells, where are you located? Are you watching the player? Are you you're a family member or what, bro? Because I don't think, Wells, you're having the discussion honestly as well. Because I'm having the discussion from an honest place.
I heard Benzema said something one time, and it spoke true up to this day. A forward can have a horrible game and score 2 goals, and then he gets man of the match. You understand what I mean by that, JT?
Yeah, and wait, maybe just Wells, Jesus Christ, Wells. The man I said, case on point. Colin Anderson had a look very good versus Peru. Watch back the game. I can't remember where Colin Anderson looked very good in any game for Jamaica, bro. Am I being biased here?
Colin Anderson are the one where play at Cavalier.
Cavaliers.
Yeah,
he's very strong, very fast.
No man, I see with the Welsh now, you know, Siobhan and TJ and people like Welsh, you know. The thing is them only watch the APL. Them cannot come to we where I watch international football and I try to learn football. The next problem to JT Taylor, them man they don't try to learn the levels when they come on to football. Them so sticking at them ways, them think JPL as it can't me a man compare JPL with the EPL. So that's the mindset where mash up people like Welch. To be honest, I can't tell Welch everything him now go leg off like I'm thinking say the JPL is at a level, and guess what? The JPL
See, wait,
is
hold on. Siobhan. Cool down, Siobhan. Wells, CJ going to just solve the thing they fear. The man never play against Peru.
Yeah, me no know Peru, only in Peru.
He never play against Peru, brother. And a Paul Hall, it was when Paul Hall was the coach we played against Peru, and he didn't get a call up against Peru, brother. So, Wells, that's the way I realize, you know, bro, let me know, Wells, if you're a troll or you're just a joke around, bro, or wagwan. Continue, guys.
I'm a troll JT Taylor because me tell you that. Remember, say when we ever do issue, you know, I see him thing, you know, him just a fling pint Him just a fling point. So him just a troll the chat, to be honest. I made a ask you if him a troll the last live stream because I see him, so him a behave. Come on, nobody is disrespecting the player. But look on the levels of defender. What the man them a go up to. Look on the flaws of Jamaican football. But no, them not look on the flaws. Them think that them are the greatest. And that's the problem, because you see when the people like them push the player them, and people like me, you, and Chevron tell them the factual truth, them I say, well, bad mind the player them. When them a push
Exactly.
to tell them, brother, the player them do good, them want we be so harsh, them push we till them, we just say, brother, the player do good for the level at this time. And me love the ball there, no? A Cavalier, no? Me have time for him.
Me
I
have
have
time for
time
the
for
ball
him.
there.
He's a
So
good player.
and we tell him, I'm ready now.
But Martin, I same thing I say. I said that they had a good game. I saw improvement comparing to the Trinidad game. They played well, but guess what? They can only play who's in front of them. Because all right, a lot of persons were saying that Trivante's second goal was a beautiful goal. Good build-up
Yes.
player, everything with him, whole of the player. But me and somebody from Harbourview was saying that even though it's a good goal, an international defender is not going to do what the Arne Garden defender do. The Arne Garden defender allowed Trivante to push him back, for hold him back. Brother, no international
But can you
defender,
say,
nah, go
can
do
you be
that.
fair? Can we also be fair, Siobhan, and say maybe it's the strength of Trivante Stewart that actually pinned the defender in a spot
All
where
Yeah,
right,
I'm
to hold
strong.
him
all
off?
right,
Because he's
You know,
very
I'm
strong,
strong,
you
you know,
know. We
hold
man.
have
on.
to be honest.
All
Let's
right,
have an honest
all right, hold on.
discussion.
All right, hold on. Yeah, go on MG Sports TV, Military Gunner channel. There was a play similar to that, what he was trying to do, the same thing with Rummy and Blake. Just look what a good defender is going to do. Brother, if somebody put them strength on you, all you have to do, make them drop a ground. Make them go on where them a go. That's all you have to do, you know.
Siobhan, you see, that Siobhan, a player can try to put them strength on you, and you release the player, and if you try and make the player drop a gun, but the player is quick enough to maneuver or make a move where you get left out of the play.
All right,
You have
But
to keep that
but
into
JT Taylor, you
consideration.
have to understand, you know, you see the ball at name where Chevron call. Him out from me watch the APL, him out have the highest IQ in the league, and
exactly.
everybody are disrespect him about him short. But that ball have the highest. Remember, say him lock down whisper somebody come tell me now when Whisper play JC, who lock down Whisper, the greatest baller in Jamaica right now, youngest baller. The believe because the IQ of the man know where for day. So Chevron I tell you that's why in international football there is levels to this. The man, they might know if they already. So a style where Shiva Stewart with a pull, a baby someone to him and them. Them can pick
Exactly.
that
No,
easy. That's the
all right,
point, Taylor.
All right, let's
No,
read
if
this
you
one
can,
comment. 1 second, Siobhan. We have to read the comment. He needs to leave JPL. Simple as that, says El Patrino. National team shouldn't even be on his
Facts.
mind right now. But we as
Facts.
nation have been doing this football thing backwards, just throwing out caps like it's nothing. Taylor Siobhan, correct, says JD. Continue there, Siobhan.
yeah, what me there say, Jay, I don't know if you have the opportunity, but you don't have to show it on stream if you can't. But if you can, just watch it. When you look upon when a defender put them body upon you like that, he has all that. So when he say if him get the ball, him can literally do anything with him want to. So you know if you use your IQ, if your IQ if you know so you're alright. Me not strong as him. So the minute him get the ball, the only way me can stop him is if I drop him. So guess what? Me have to think decisive from there. So yeah, put your strength on me for drop, brother. Go on where you go. Leg
I
off
agree,
of me.
Stefan.
I
I
drop a
agree.
ground.
Me
Do where
feel say them
you do.
disrespect Blake as a defender. Because they look about IQ, he come in like Martinez. The man know if it at the right time. As me say, nobody talk about it when him lock down Whisper. Nobody talk about that match there.
Exactly.
Say him not Whisper couldn't score. Him not even scoring a game. And him make JC really win. Because if him never
Yeah,
on the field, man,
but come
Whisper would have
on
get
now,
loose.
Martin Baker. The JC-KC game, it wasn't down to one player alone. JC was a good team overall. You have to understand that in a schoolboy
No, me I
football.
talk. No, Taylor, you miss the point. Me I talk about we are talking about at forward line and defending, right? That's all me I stick for. Me understand say a team game. We are talking about a defender and an attacker. And whichever one I say. The point is, if it was a better IQ defender, he would have less chance to make a turn.
What do you
less
use to
chance
judge the
to get a
IQ of
shot.
a footballer? What parameters you use to judge the IQ of a footballer?
Oh, the baller, when we watch the game and the baller read the game, he move on the field. All right, say, a man go get the ball, him position himself. Where him expect the ball to go, or where him expect the attacker to use the ball. And it lacking at the JPL. No for the man,
But
the
do you
better
think
player
that
them.
players who have a high football IQ also makes errors out there on the pitch?
Yeah, I know football. Come on, JP.
Everybody,
I know
every
football. We
footballer
have
make
So
errors.
exactly. So sometimes a player with a good IQ can make an error and he gets exploited by
Disagree upon
even
that.
a weaker player, a player with a lower IQ.
Yeah, me can't disagree upon that. A football.
Ye-
Players make mistake. Yeah, a football.
But JT, remember, the whole point what me there try and make, is because our Wells there say we are disrespect the striker. They have to say we're not disrespecting them. We're just being honest because they dominated the JPL, but we can't get up. All right, I guarantee say Wells now gonna get up and say, all right then. Trivante dominated the JPL defenders. So guess what? You see, because Trivante dominate them, we know so the JPL. We know so Wells now gonna agree if them put beer JPL defender in a Jamaica team right now. I guarantee him now gonna happy with that. And if you ask him why,
Jesus
he might go
Christ.
say because them not good enough.
Yo, the fans them are clot to the people. The fans them are clot to the fans them. Me realize something with the fans them. Them not take no prisoner when it comes on to the local base players. It look like the fans them like a player of if you're not good like a whisper, the players them not have, the fans them not have no time for no local base player for even discuss them. Me look like the fans them just say, yo, not even discuss, we not discussing, no brother. It look like at this to the things the base power Mary. Black Star say, come on, guys.
Yeah, but
Stop pushing players in the system.
system.
Let me read that one comment to Martin Beer. Come on, guys, stop pushing players in the system. The team is a puzzle. The coach is the wizard. Players, guys are pushing Max not fit in his style to play. We need to discuss system. I think it's a bit early when it comes on to system, Black Star, because the Jamaica system is not so definitive. It's not yet defined. I think it's still in the building stage of trying to define. My apology, guys, says Wells, it was not the Peru game, because that's the thing in a Wells. When you come in and you're pushing for a player and you give stats from all that game where they play and not play, people are going to question whether or not your football IQ is actually there, McGee. You can't give stats for a game Wells where the player don't even play. Sorry about that, Martin Baker. Continue. I think your mic is muted.
You can't wait, Trevor. Just a quick 1 minute. You can't too blame Taylor. Remember, we traumatized as fans, man.
Yep. Agreed.
Come on, Taylor, we traumatized as traumatized with football. Football give me headache, Taylor. I not take pill. I not take pain pill. No time. When I watch Jamaica.
No, but I was the one who said that on Ryan's channel, when I just started out. I said that fans need to get some painkiller and see them therapists when Tapa was the coach, because going into that Gold Cup and the World Cup qualify, we are going to deal with a lot of headaches. No, I think the headache from the players, when me get headache from players, is like Alvas Powell, Lamar Walker, Fisher, Flemings, all of them guys there. Them guys there is a walking headache. They are a walking headache, brother. Walking migraine.
I may have it for each chat too. Over the last 8 years, when we are chugging the JPL player and we are trying to fit them in, which JPL player you see star for the last 8 years where we can pick out of the batch? Which JPL player come in at the national team and make a change? Put a come off of the bench and make a change and say yes, that one a word. None, me can't see none. So want somebody answer me. If you have no name, put it in my chat. That's my question to you and Chevron.
Brother, I know why today Tuesday, I'm general. Why you want to give me a headache on a Tuesday, brother?
People, remember to hit the like button. We have 60 people on the stream and we have 20 likes on the video. Just hit the like button, man. Hit the like button early in the morning. Just hit the like button, people. We're chopping it up. Trivante Stewart, Collin Anderson. Are these players ready to make that next step? I know a lot of people in the local space. However, after watching that game and those players captivating the fans, there are fans out there who might think that, listen, Them man are better than the Englishman, them in a boss. Oh, them man in the side. See, man like even Bala Curry. I would love to hear from Bala Curry as well, because Bala Curry, big up yourself, Jamaica Guna. Bala Curry is some of those guys who he really focuses on the local game, and he's gonna tell you if him think those players should be there. Jamaica Guna, have you seen that performance by Trivante Stewart? He looked very good with those 2 goals. Did those 2 goals change your mindset as far as these 2 players are concerned? And all the fans, did those goals have an influence on anything that you think about these players? Do you feel differently? Do you think that Trivante Stewart actually has the potential? No, is that Balakar? You have to click the Discord link up there, so and just jump into Discord, bro. And Discord is free because I don't have the phone calling. So I don't know. Jamaica Guna is a man we grade very hard as well. But no say him probably just go see the man them still no good. But I thought that was some brilliant goals from Trivante Stewart there in that goal. Just click the link there, Balakar, and it should take you to the room where we have the Discord up and running. It's not rocket science, bro. You just have to have the app on your phone. Continue, Martin Baker.
Yeah, but I look, well, I want them still, you know, because we have the 2 friendly game, you know. I want the coach bring them 2 forward, they still, because them say them short or forward. So I want to see how them are going to perform against a different level, because them are going to play against Jordan, which I want good team is higher than JPL. So them are play against Qatar. So me would I like to see
Jordan,
them,
Martin Baker, Jordan no good, brother. Jordan no good, bro.
So Jordan defender them though better than the JPL defender. That I'm a pine JT Taylor. Jordan defender them better than the JPL player by far. So and Jordan play good against them last match against Spain. So come on, JT Taylor, respect to the ball at them, because you just tell me about man ask question. Jordan defenders them better than the JPL them defender them, because them man in a good league and higher league than JPL. So that's my point. If me like, would I like them to touch the field? Yes, and
Martin Baker. All right. Martin Baker, what do you say to the people who say, you see them man up on YouTube? Because me feel see someone like oral Tracy them think, you know. Yeah, Tracy, the man them over YouTube, you see them man over YouTube, them not rate no local baller. Them man over YouTube.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
So more action.
All right.
The fans, who that just joined the stream? It says Q1. Who is that? Is that Balakar? No, we not hear the person.
All right, this is where JD always I say, I'm realize you're true. You see, in Jamaica, with Jamaicans, you can give constructive criticism and people take it as a bash the people. Which we can't
not
understand.
hear you, Q1. We not hear you. We see that your serious audio coming, but we're not hearing you. So maybe you want to jump out and jump back in.
Yeah, JT. So may I say, like, persons are do the people always I give constructive criticism for the players them for improve themselves. But people always have it say we not rate them. Brother, if we never rate them, we wouldn't talk about them. But people don't understand that. JT, you ever talk about somebody in a rate? Now you hear me?
I wait Taylor gone.
I wonder.
Yeah, but Chevron, boy, me don't know what the fans they want. We tell them. We show so much respect. We tell them so the man them need time. Me don't know if the man them really just don't watch football. If them don't understand the levels from JPL and international football. See the same example there. Me hear Taylor give what there. So when the same Bright Brave go up on the field last time in the World Cup qualifier. And the man have great at the hard work we already run on the field.
But by Graves is a different.
Understand this.
By Graves is not the same though. By Graves is not the same.
That the people them not understand to me. That are my problem with them. They're not understanding.
Martin Baker, wouldn't you say that by Graves and Trivante Stewart is 2 different strikers?
Yeah, two different strikers, man. Me rate Trivante Stewart over Brivey, to be honest. So if anybody forget the opportunity, would I give Stewart and Collin Anderson? Because me rate the
Let me
ball of
read
the
this
Anderson,
comment.
me rate him more.
Let me
Me
read
rate
this
him more.
comment.
Me have time for him. Me would I want him leave Jamaica and do play next season. Would I like him to get a contract and me that follow up with the ball of them and then yes, we don't love the ball of them. But the point is, we want the ball of them go a better league. See the man got see the same Anderson go get 1 day coach with the coach when him just coming at Taylor. And hear what the man say? Him never yet train at that level there yet. So somebody come tell me now if the part of them I tell Uno as fans where I force them. I tell you say the level him never yet train at that level yet. So Taylor answer that and Trevor and tell me now.
But Martin, but pre this, the players them will go overseas. Every single time them talk on an interview, when them say the minute me dropping now on club team overseas, he come like some everything we never learn nothing at all at Jamaica. The ball of them come out every single interview with them have and say it, and people it's like say I don't know how white have to take Jamaican people themselves to understand say brother, well football in club level is not where it's supposed to be. At two different levels. You have
Great point. Great point.
You have two people who got second division in Europe, second division in Europe. And I said the training level is totally different from what them experience at Jamaica.
No,
so what
but
that's supposed to say?
Shavan, it's going to be Q1. We're not here, I don't know who is Q1. Q1 just jump out and forward back so the thing so you can get to speak. Cause we not hear you, no audio coming out from your thing.
And forward back.
Yeah, so,
JT, go forward back.
yeah, man, just forward in front again. Yeah, I think Marlon had a comment where he said, Jay Taylor, do some research on Jordan team. People disrespectful the national team because they don't know about the team. That I can proudly say, and the teams are players that I talked about. I know them. Marlon is saying that Jordan is actually better than what I'm saying that they are. I'm just thinking, Marlon, hop on the Discord and let me know about Jordan because I don't know of Jordan. Only thing me know what go on at Jordan, see them have oil and them thing there and them always solve the problems between
JT Taylor, me can
Israel
tell
and
you
Palestine.
this. Jordan team better than Trinidad team.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
yes, so tell me now. So and you see Stewart or Anderson could have score a goal?
Yeah, what happened?
That are the facts. You see when I tell you JT Taylor, the team when we are play a good match and for the local player them, it'll go be a good match to see if them is a good set for them to prove themselves against them player because if they want to come to US, Gold Cup come, you have to show some in a Jordan and you have to show some against Qatar.
So
Them
wait,
you know, alright, they are them mediocre side, them have to show some the big dogs them in a Gold Cup. So them have to prove themselves from there. So what I like to see is I look forward for the coach give them opportunity.
so
Definitely,
let me just
I
ask
look
the
forward
fans.
and I want to see how them look.
Let me just ask the fans them. So as we say, Trivante Stewart in and out for you guys. Just drop it in the comment section. Is Trivante Stewart in and out, and just so we leave it at that. It's fair to say that Collin Anderson is not ready. He's too raw of a talent. Marlon said Trivante Stewart will be okay. I don't know what that means. Is he okay that he will come? Big up yourself, know yourself. Bring 2 JPL strikers only and 1 and whisper. So let me know in the comment section, guys. Is that your mic? I just hear something from you, Q1. Are you there? Q1, are you there? All right. I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if Trivante Stewart even has a chance. All right, Detta said he's out. So he's out for Detta. Detta doesn't think Trivante Stewart should be around the squad. Jamaica Guna says...
For me...
Hold on. Let me just read them thing here first. Because we have to keep the fans them engaged, Big up on yourself, everybody. We have Siobhan on stream. We have Martin Baker and we have Q1. Nothing coming from Q1 though. Yeah, nothing coming from Q1. Jamaica Guna say Stewart Collins. I think Stewart has improved over Anderson since the TNT match. He's out for you, him Guna. Is he in or is out? Bala Kerr say, yo, send me the invite. Why me? Why me? No, Bala Kerr, the invite is the link in the pin comment section, bro. The invite is the link. Once you click on that link, it should take you straight to the room. Once you get the app on your phone and you sign in to the app, you should take you straight to the link. And this is the future, bro. Stream, because we actually can run streams through Discord. There's videos on here. We can even set it up where the guy's face gets showed on screen. But I know not everybody want to show their face through the video link. So people, so Balakar, you have to get the Discord, bro. It's just click the link and it takes you to the room with the panel. So most of the people are saying he's out. He's out.
All right,
I see he's out.
me
there,
different. Trivante, for the friendlies, if it's possible for him to play the game on Sunday and then jet out Monday for the friendlies, fine. But if it's that selective for the Gold Cup, no. Because I just
But
don't
if he
think
gets selected for the friendly, Shavan, wouldn't that tell you that the coach thinks that he needs to fly them in
remember, say
later?
you can pick any amount of players. You can pick a 30-man squad for that, you know.
So
For
what
the
if he
friendlies, you know.
performs well in the friendlies? You don't take him?
Well, that's a different story. If he performs extremely well and he performs better than the other strikers, but for right now, the other strikers that are in the pool, they're better. And Trivante or Collin isn't better than any of those strikers.
Okay, so
But for me to get up and say, for me to get up now and say that he shouldn't make the Gold Cup squad just based off what he has done in the JPL, I can't say that because the last international game that he had, everybody here can say that it was not. Whisper was the best striker that we had in the
More
Trinidad
be
game.
fair to these players, Shaban, outline the things that these players and everybody in the comment section can take part in this. Well, Guna say, I think Antonio may miss the 2 practice games in Austria, so I would bring Stewart. Stewart, are there, Shavan is saying the finals is on Sunday and Jamaica arrives in Austria on Sunday. So he's saying they won't be able to make that flight. No, I want to hear from the fans and I want to hear from Shavan and Martin Baker. What are the things that a player like Trivante Stewart needs to work on to get to the next level where we can say, we know that one of the things is getting out of Jamaica and playing in a better league. What are some of the things that you think we need to he needs to work on where you guys can say, yes, this player is ready to make that move? What are some of the things?
Well, for me
off
first,
ball.
based on let me do a quick run,
Sure.
Siobhan. Based on because Siobhan watch it more, you know. Go on, Siobhan, can you watch JPL more? But me watch about 12 match free season, you watch it more. So me based on the 12 match and the 2 match when me see him against Trinidad for do my statement. So go on, let me hear it.
Lanarisa,
Alright,
that's my question as well. I asked that question as well, Lanarisa. She said, I'd never know what gender Lanarisa is, if it's a
Lan
male.
Israel. It's a male.
Lanarisa. Who is a male, right? All right, boss.
Yeah, Lan Israel, man.
Lanarisa. Yeah, man. You need to tell me if you pronounce the name. You say, what if Stewart? Lanarisa. Lan Ezra.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
Lan Ezra. All right, Jesus Christ. The man, them can some complicated name on YouTube, man. What happened to some name like just Balakir?
Alright, so
go ahead.
Alright, so the biggest thing every JPL player obviously need for work on is them off the ball movement. And I think that
This player
coincides with fitness.
specifically, Trivante Stewart, I need you to outline what he needs to work on for you to say, okay, this player can make it to the next level.
Alright, so off the ball movement, fitness,
Mm-hmm.
positioning, which would go as well as off the ball movement, and finishing.
Okay.
And if you think about it, for a striker, for me to have those areas that I think he needs to improve on, it's not really good for those weaknesses of a striker. So those are the only way. You know, so I never realized I saw Lana's name spell.
Yeah,
Arsenal
that's
spell back way.
yeah.
I
Arsenal him
never
spell it
realized, you
back
know.
way. Cause that's why I did up one day if it's a Lanarisa. The man spelling name Arsenal back way. Yo,
But
Jaja.
yeah, but those are the areas I think that the Trivante himself needs to work on. Physically wise, you can see that he has it and he can develop it a bit more, but I think he already has that. So it's off the ball movement, fitness, and then finishing. Composure as well. Those are what I think he needs to work on mainly.
All right, all right. Before Martin Baker, more ask the fans them a big question. Jay Shai say JPL League is a subpar league in comparison to the rest of the world so far. Blah blah should be the standard have to reach as in a more ask all the fans them a question because this is I got a message this morning and somebody is saying that people are being divisive and whatever. Guys, what do you guys think about, as you know, Manningsman is one of the YouTubers on YouTube. He is he provides good content. I've watched his show mostly every day ever since it came out. He did some pretty good interviews, and I know he's somebody who cares about Jamaica football. What do you guys think? Do you think Manningsman is the right man for the job as the manager, as there are rumors that Manningsman will be traveling with the team this week? That's what people are saying, that Manningsman will travel with the team this week. Balaker is in the building. Do you guys think that Manningsman is the man for the job, Siobhan? Just being honest, because remember, no, yeah, man, Balaker, you're here, so you just need to turn on your mic. We see you in the thing, Balaker. You're here. You just wrote a comment section. You just wrote a comment. You're here, Balaker. You have to just turn your mic on and speak. All right, Siobhan, what do you think that Manningsman bring to the table?
JT,
All right, yeah, yeah. We just want to get this out of the way. We just
come
want you
here,
the
you
fans.
nobody can this. What go on?
Yeah, you can you hear me?
Welcome to football talk.
Can you hear me? We are hearing you, Balaker. We're hearing you. Can you hear me? I don't think Balaker are here, we know, but we are hearing him.
JT,
Yes, yes. Can you hear me, Balaker? Balaker, we are hearing you, Balaker. We are hearing you. We are hearing you, Balaker.
JT.
Yo, we are hearing
Oh,
you.
yeah, man.
You hear me? All right.
Yeah, man, I know. So go up on YouTube, go look up how to do it, man. You see me?
All right. But just a quick thing, guys, because we don't want to be biased, you know, because remember, you know, if Manningsman becomes the manager, we have to look at him as the manager. He's no longer just a YouTuber. Kick it off, Balaker. You think Manningsman he's fit for the job?
You know, say now go say nothing upon the part they do. When we call to talk about it when.
No, we're gonna get back to that, you know. We're gonna get back to that.
No,
you know.
but we not gonna answer that.
Don't all right. Then hold off a fight then. Hold off a fight then.
Yeah.
Martin Baker, you're a man we talk straight. Open the mic, Martin Baker. Do you think do you think, because I do think that Manningsman would bring some more hands-on to the job, because he's been there on YouTube and he sees that some of the things that are missing. I think that he would bring some good things to the job as far as getting the job done. No, guys, we can talk about this. This is the thing, because it's gonna be a problem. It's going to be a problem. People, you say if you don't want to talk about it, it's gonna be a future problem. Trust me. I think he brings some things to the organization, especially when it comes to contacting players. I think Manningsman would be more hands-on in getting the players from England. And this is the thing that we want to solve, especially the passport issues. I think he would do a good job with getting those things sorted out, the players in the USA and Canada. And I think the youth programs would probably function a bit more better organized when it comes on to camp. That's my point of view on that. And Manningsman just have to take this one advice from me, where he shouldn't get so upset when people disagree with him. That's one of my biggest concerns when it comes to management being the manager. He just needs to accept criticism and not get upset so much, because when you're working with people, bro, and you get upset a lot, it's go easily, it's not gonna work very well in a team environment. So however, with that said, I still think he would do a good job as far as knowing what the fans on YouTube, the concerns. He knows the concerns firsthand of the fans. So I think he would try to solve some of those things. I'm just being honest with that. As I said, my
Well,
only
JT
concern
Taylor,
is
in
that.
my point,
Yeah.
we hope him say good, because if we hope him do good and great, because if a YouTuber going at the football, him and Simon in the football federation and can do something good and great, it look good for the YouTubers where I thought now like you and the fans and where that course for over the years, it would feel like at least them a try here, JFF a try here, because remember, when I time I own a TVJ and the newspaper I can hear from JFF, And when I watch local sports, some of them like on CVM, So if him can go in there and do something great, that would be a plus for the country. And me hope him do good, because if him do the good, a belt, as Ryan always say, a belt out here. Cause I'm a fan way. Me tired JT Taylor. That's why I'm so frank. So me understand people feelings and them ego and all of that. But as a fan, me was too when the man them go work up. I don't know about the 50 and the 60-year-old and what upon them ego. That's not me. I'm frank. So if him do good, we I look forward. I hope him do good. If him do bad, and him like I go around the corner like and I move like JFF, him forget the belt and I just say go.
All right,
Straight.
all right. And you see, guys, it's the way how we discuss these things, because we don't want say fans say, because we just want Manningsman to know as well. The moment he signed that contract, he's no longer just a YouTuber. The belt is also his. He will be getting the belt. Him just have to be prepared for that. That on YouTube, we take no prisoners on YouTube, because it's Jamaica football first. If a Jesus Christ go in there, the Romans them a come crucify him. Anybody go in there, we need them to do a job for Jamaica. Some people say give him a chance. I agree. Jamaica Guna say Manningsman bias as what? Long time. Me tell people him is the JFF mouthpiece. Jesus Christ. So you see, a lot of the fans are split on this. However, though, I think I would want him to get that chance, and if he fails, he fails. That's how I see
JT,
it. But give him the
JT,
opportunity. Yes.
for me,
Mm.
I'm not worried about if Manningsman is competent enough to do the job. My main issue is, will he be given the opportunity? Will he be given the resources to complete the task properly? That's my major error. I don't know Manningsman managing capabilities. I don't know if he will do a good job, a bad job, whatever. But there's only way for you to know if he can do it or not. You
Mm-hmm.
could put the person in the role. My main concern is having the resources, being given the ability to complete the job, because we've seen situations in the past where the persons in charge they came out. I have even been told personally that they don't have the tools and resources to complete some of the things needed to complete their jobs. So that's my biggest issue with this whole situation with Manningsman. Mannings, based off what I've seen so far, what he did for the U20 team couple of years last year, he got the players down. He was able to work with some other persons to get the players down. That's good. That's the role of a manager.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
just about giving the opportunity, giving the tools, the resources to complete his job. That's the only thing I have.
Boy, Siobhan, to be honest, as we Taylor say, you know where you're going now, you know the JFF, you know them now the resources. So when they sign that contract, the Taylor, as a fan like me, I'm brutal, no mercy. If foolish go on, you sign the contract, you know where you get yourself, Just like the coach, some people can beat the coach and him know say, him not even really know. So that's what Jamaica run, but him know say he never that up. And everybody can beat the coach. So money is money.
Okay.
I get himself in and Simon. So them sign the contract.
Final
That a pittance to
final
me, to be
question on
honest.
this now. Final question, guys, because we just want to come at it from an honest place. The final question on this now. How does Manningsman balance YouTube with being a manager as far as keeping an unbiased approach to if the things are going wrong in the JFF, he's able to discuss it and call it out. Know that if he's a part of the organization, don't you think how does that work? And that's the final question on that topic, and we'll get back to those two players because we have Marlon on, and we want Marlon to dive into the questions that we had. I know Marlon don't want to touch this Manningsman thing. What do you say, Siobhan and Martin Baker? How does he balance those two things with the YouTube and keeping we're saying a hard line in making sure that people are doing their job in the JFF?
Boy, as we can't say we do it on YouTube and ask say the JFF want to add people, would that be a liar? Because we as fans in the ball, so they need to get him more people we can help them improve. So would that be a liar if we say that? But based on the YouTube and JFF, boy, and them fans are like me and other fans, when me know Mark hard, it are rough. To me, man, it are rough. It are rough, Taylor. It are rough. What am I saying? It are rough. It are rough.
It'll be rough. That's what I think as well. It's gonna be very difficult, I think, for Manningsman to keep an honest face to the fans on YouTube and get his job done. That's gonna be a balancing act that he has to think about as well, if it's a fact that he will get the job. No, Marlon, as we were talking about the Trivante Stewart, let's just get back on topic. I got a message about that whole Manningsman thing, and I said, let me just throw it out to the fans. And we're not gonna come from a malicious place. We're gonna just, based on the nature of his Conif, there is there will be, he'll have to speak on or have the JFF and his approach on the JFF. Okay, the comment move fast. Mannings I need to just sell me his YouTube. Jesus Christ. Marlon, what do you think? Trivante Stewart, did you see the game yesterday? You think he's ready? You think he's ready for that big move? We're not hearing you, no, Marlon. You look like you're speaking, but we're not hearing it. All right, we wait till Marlon gets sorted out. Maybe you have to jump off and jump back in. Maybe something like what happened. Yeah, we are hearing you.
Yeah.
You're very low, though. Very low.
Yeah, I can follow. Hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So what I'm saying, he's one of the most improved player in the league, right? Because even when they bought him from, he wasn't that.
You're
polished
very
player.
low, Marlon. Marlon, it sounds like you're away from the phone, and it's when I know it sounds very, very low. All right, so Marlon is sorting out his audio issues.
Yeah, man.
Perfect
you
now.
hear me now?
Perfect now.
All right. So yeah. So what I'm saying, for me, he's one of the most improved player in the league this season, right? He was a person who didn't score up to 5 goals before in his 2 seasons playing in the JPL, right? But however, right, he had the Nicholas Nelson, who was at Mullines, and whoever was already playing with him. The coaching staff at Mount Pleasant saw a player, right? Because even when they signed him, persons were like, fans were saying, but this man not do nothing. But the coaching staff was there, and management saw a player that they could bring to the team to use him, to develop him, right? And I think he finished the season last year with 12 goals. He scored like 9 goals for Mount Pleasant. This season he came out, hit the ground running, right? Got called to the national team. And person have to understand as well, when you evaluate players, right? You're in the system where you got used to, right? And you went to the national team, and so you're now getting to or used to another system, right? With person you never play together before. So when person evaluate him for the performance against
Trinidad.
Trinidad in the game in Montego Bay, if anybody was watching the football and saw something, every ball that went to Trivante Stewart against 2 6'4" defenders, he won them. Right? So person might say, yes, he didn't do nothing like that, but guess what? When I'm evaluating talent and analyzing them, I look at certain aspects as a target striker. Right? All those games went into him. He's a player that I spoke to a lot, and I said, guess what? You have a couple flaws you need to work on. Right? He didn't finish the season that well. But if you notice something, all the players that call to the national team that play against China who were on top of their game, when they went back to their club, all of them dip in form.
Yeah, they look better.
The 4 more present players, Anderson went off the boil. All of them who went, they went off the boil. However, Anderson started scoring at the back end of the thing, right? Bygrave came in, Bygrave started scoring, Trivante went on the bench. But sending him to the bench, he went and worked harder, come back, right? Even when the quarterfinals started, I saw him, I spoke to him, I said, guess what? Start your game now. I said, you're the biggest target striker in the league. You need to start, use your body, use your skill set. A person was saying that he doesn't have any skill or anything like that. You see, since the second leg against Dumbly Holland, right, is a man who went on that field, right? Person are talking about this game. The game last week, he didn't score, he had a better game. When he scored 1 goal last week, it was a better performance than this one. He scored 2 goals in this one. But last week Monday, he was a menace to our defense the same way. So in person are saying that his physicality, now he's starting learning to use his body as a shield, like a Drogba, and he start to use that power. If he goes out of the flank, he's taking on players out there. So as I said, I had person who come in to look at him, and that guy's gonna go places. He's not the finisher product as yet, but there's a lot in store for him. And as I said, don't be surprised if you see him in the Gold Cup squad. Just like I said, he was going to Mexico. Don't be surprised.
Okay, so is he is he
Marlon, in the Gold Cup squad, what do you mean and JD pick the Gold Cup squad, you know? Who you that take out for? I'm always ask the people, when I see the man I go in at the squad, who you that take out? Because me and JD picked the squad, what you know, and it was so hard, you know. So who you that take out for Stewart in at the squad? That's my question. I mean, I understand who you that take out because the 21 really hard.
Martin,
tell me.
It's a toss-up between him and Corey Burke.
Corey Burke.
It's a toss-up, but you don't have a pure striker there.
Boy, Marlon,
Right.
if that I case, I have to disagree now because when Corey Burke come here, you know, man, because Stewart never get no chance get it Mexico, you know, and he never shown nothing in a TT match, you know. So if a Corey Burke can come pass up him with me, that disagree 100 because I want to ask you a question because they watch the league. The man, me hear the railing and him great goals, but him was not on a good form. He was not on a good form at the time. He was floundering.
Is he in good form now, Martin Baker?
Martin, you listen what I said a while ago. I said the guy fell off, right? He went international team on 14 goals and he didn't score a goal until the last 2 games of the season. Right? So he fell off. Collin Anderson fell off. Demaro Phillips fell off.
Based on Burke performance in Mexico.
Martin, the coach worked with him. The coach worked with him, right?
Okay.
The coach has worked with him, and there was a reason that the coach brought him to Mexico. So when persons were saying that Whisper will be a part of the squad and this and that, there was a reason he was brought there.
Okay.
And there's a lot to his game. As I said, he's young, he's still developing, right? He's a person who wasn't 22 going 23. I think he should be 23 this year.
Okay, that's good.
Right?
That's
so
good.
it's not like by grade who's 28 going 29.
Am I understand around the same age?
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's not like by grade.
If I that, me have time for them. So, Burke how much? Burke
31.
Okay.
Yeah, man, me have time for them. So me get it now. Me get it now. If you that leave by that side, yeah, me understand. Right? Me never know so them so young, to be honest. Me want honest youth, you know. Me never know so them so young. Me know Anderson was like 22. But me never Stewart look so old. He might look really strong and big, and they know. Me never me think me older. But if that are the case, cause Burke old still, you know. So if that are the case, the coach will look on him, say bringing young youth, and they say
and
Martin
Baker and Marlon. That was part of the premise where I started off the discussion with, where
okay,
with a Corey Burke, I said if in the practice games, based on the game that I saw yesterday, Marlon, the second goal that he scored, for me, that's a special goal because it brought back memories of how strikers used to play. You remember when they teach you football, Martin, and them want the striker, if he post up on the defender, control, turn, and shoot. He executed perfectly. He executed that perfectly yesterday. And the first goal as well, he got that ball in a tight spot, but his first touch was very good. His first touch gave him the ability to put the ball down in the box and get it in the goal. No, I'm not saying those two things merits a call up or warrant him a call up, Martin. But what I'm trying to say is we can't have the discussion from a place where we say nobody no good. No, you know, so we know that the JPL ballers.
No, never say that. No, so me can't say that. Not you. Just tell Anderson, me have time for Anderson. We can't tell that.
Not just you, know, Martin. You know, say no fans. See, no fans just say, yo, the JPL man, them none of them no good. I believe that they're not at the level or ready for international football.
That me I try to get the fans them understand. JT Taylor.
But Martin,
the levels at the time at the moment. But go on, me and listen still.
But we have to keep an open mind for if we see a player showing us enough that they just need a few things to work on to basically be able to be a decent player who can contribute. We have to keep that open mind. And as Marlon said, the Corey Burke discussion, because remember when we picked the squad, you know, let me just pull up my squad here. Remember when I picked my squad, my Gold Cup squad was Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, Connor Boyce Clark, defenders, Ethan Pinnock, Damian Lowe, Adrian Murray Hopper, Wes Harding, Bell, Taxi Lawrence. Taxi Lawrence is another player. Taxi Lawrence and Corey Burke were the players that I have question mark against. I believe that if two other players show me enough, those two spots should be taken up by two other players. Then I have Dishard Bernard, Lambert Kisa, Lata Badir. As you know, Lata Badir and Dishard Bernard have not received their passport as yet. So it's potentially looking like Javian Brown will be back. Jonathan Russell, Ravel Morrison, DJ Johnson, Kevin Lambert, Demarai Gray, Omari Hutchinson, Jamal Lowe, Bobby Reed, Leon Bailey, Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, and Corey Burke with a question mark. So because I think Corey Burke is not a sure pick at this time for Jamaica. Though he did score in the last Gold Cup, his experience on US soil, but I just think that, as Marlon said, he's 31. We might need to start looking at a new striker right now. But he does give us that energy that we need coming off the bench.
Man, I like Burke still. I like how Burke plays still. I not tell no. But Marlon, I have a question. The coach make a statement still. Say, Billy say, the Trivante Stewart and like the Anderson. Can him say he might go give some of the player them like a 1 year, a 2 year, him get back to them and see how them improve and see how them can fit in a system. I believe say at this time, player like Anderson and Stewart are like them player they women work with to look how them improve in a like 2 years time.
Your mic is muted, Marlon.
Well, I think for me, when I look at both players, Trivante is more ahead of Stewart right now with certain skill set. What Stewart might have over Trivante.
No, over Anderson. Over Anderson.
Anderson.
Have over him. He is more creative to his game, right? He has more creativity to his game. Both of them have the same almost the same body build, right? Over 6 feet, right? Trivante has a more aggressiveness to his game, right? Still need to work on his finishing as well. But if we realize the last 3 goals that he has scored, there's a lot of finesse to the goal, the
But
first
yeah.
goal, the goal against Arnett in the first leg. Even the first goal that he scored, the equalizer, right? He literally just dinked it over. Edwards, the defender, was Ali the
Man,
same
and me
way,
love how you talk. Me love how you talk
right?
because of this, the people them need to know, Marlon.
But
All
Marlon,
we
them
are
must say
asking
the
the
defender
people
them
them
no
to do,
good.
I work hard and to
Huh?
improve so we as
No, but
fans can see it.
They must say the
That's all we are
defender them no
asking.
good. They must say the defender them basically no good.
and JT, I'm gonna tell you this. I think Joel Collin, I've never heard anyone say anything about him. He's one of the better defenders in the JPL right now,
Okay.
right? Because guess what? He's the most physical person, but the guy is so intelligent, right? And for him to catch him and time and turn him and score that second goal, that made the goal even better, right? Person saying about Romain Blake take him and lock him down. Romain Blake not lock him down, right? The team was poor. The team was poor. And I said it to somebody on Sunday. A person talking about him against Trinidad and stuff. I tell him, say, if you take the more present team that is playing now and that played against Trinidad, did I put in a better performance? I guess what? All the players know how the team function and how they play already, right? So basically, he and Stewart was on the field, both of them running up and down.
The reason why I asked
Stewart
you that question, Marlon, is the fans are saying that the defenders that he's playing against doesn't have a high football IQ and that the defenders are poor.
I said that as well. That's why but with my statement, me say me don't know Marlon more in the football pan ground. Me don't know if him a go because me don't like to see them two striker there, even Burke, But the funniest thing, me not have Burke in my team, So me don't know, boy, when I go, the coach I go have I love it, all that team I look. The coach I go have a hard time, and me like it. Cause me not have Burke in my team. Me have the lower. Me have the money we can do multiple tasks like Lower, Bailey, Gray we can play as a supporting striker, and me not even have Burke in the team. So me not even know what to say. Right, there's some man for even add Stewart in the 23.
All right. Go ahead, Marlon.
Once he makes us to go to Austria.
Yeah.
Right, and he get playing time.
Your audio is back to low again, Marlon.
But I said once you get a chance to go in that 30-man squad to go to Austria and he get playing time and perform, it's a big percentage you see. Because remember,
But
we
Marlon,
saw
they
him
said the
Mexico.
finals is on Sunday. He won't be able to make it.
Huh?
They said the finals is on Sunday and the team
J.
travels.
Taylor, plane doesn't fly only on Sunday. There's Monday, Tuesday,
No,
Wednesday.
that's what I thought. That me just repeat what the fans them are saying why the play. Siobhan said that him and Collin Anderson probably won't make it because the team travels on Sunday and the finals is on Sunday.
I had the same conversation. A person was saying that if he get called for the 30-man squad, he should turn down the call,
no.
accept the call, and don't play the final. So I asked him, say, which footballer on earth is gonna play a game, play 30 games for the season, and when you reach to the 31st game, you need to play to
win.
a decisive moment in your career. You can become a champion. It doesn't matter what There's when it goes on your football resume, you won the JPL, right? You're the leading goal scorer, you're not the leading goal scorer. Then you left to play a practice game and then you don't get selected. So that's why I said if he's selected, the coach must be understanding to know that guess what? The JFF, we need him. So
to travel
we
tomorrow.
bring him late. Yeah. And I can guarantee you that he won't be released.
No.
So a person looking for
Tapa, people, remember, Tapa is his coach. Tapa is not going to release his player to go play a practice game for Jamaica because I still think Tapa has some kind of animosity there when it comes on to the national team.
But not even Tapa. The management themselves won't release him. It's a final, and anybody who's watching football and stuff, there's no player, right? If you take Shamar Nicholas who had a final to play on Sunday and they said to meet in Austria, right? Have a Russian Cup to play. He's not gonna leave to come to play. It's a cup game,
Jesus
right? And
Christ.
it's their finals.
Yeah, the
So
fans them mad and them now give no break to the JPL players. Jamaica Guna, what do you say? I don't know if you saw the game yesterday. I thought that Trivante Stewart scored 2 brilliant goals yesterday. What do
Yeah,
you
Mr.
think?
The Island. Yeah, blessed day to everybody. Good day, good afternoon, good morning, good night to everybody anywhere at all across the world.
Big up you.
My personal view is, look, I was looking at the two players were coming into the side, same age group, playing in the same league, battling for the leading striker. The two hottest striker them in the league, which is good for the league in itself and good for the players them as well to know that there's somebody there, you know, literally breathing down them neck back as it relates to scoring goals locally. That's all good and well. Personally, I've seen Trivante Stewart improve since the Trinidad game. I don't know if because him going to camp and him play amongst fully professional players. He may have learned something. I think he's improving at a more rapid rate than Colin Anderson is.
Yes.
In terms of working on the flaws them that maybe a coach, a member of the coaching staff or somebody have pointed out to him while he was in camp. But I think I've seen improvement since then. Colin Anderson is still very raw. He is not composed as Trivante Stewart has become. He's been more composed around the box. He's more paying attention to the technical aspect of the game. As I said, the goal him score, you can see him take him time. If you understand what I'm saying to you,
Yes.
the good players look like they have more time than they actually do.
That's a fact.
Because they're so relaxed on the ball. And I think Trivante Stewart has improved on that. And he needs to improve on his finishing. He needs to improve on his runs. That is something that I really admire with like a Shaman Nicholson. He will pull players out of position, and by the time you realize him pull out of position, it's too late. I don't see Trivante Stewart doing that as much as I would like for a forward. I don't see him making those runs. I think Colin Anderson makes those runs a lot more than he does, but both of them need to work on their finishing. To really cut it at international level and to compete against the players that we have available to us. And that is where it's at. It's not just being there because you're a Jamaican born or you're writing at the coach eyeball. It's being there because you're performing better than your competitors. Football is a competitive game. And if you're a striker and you know that you have Michael Antonio, you have Shamar Nicholson, you have Jamal Lowe, you have Roof, you have these players that you're going to be competing against. You have to be performing at or similar to that level in order to get into the team. And that is where it's at. I personally am not a fan of any of the two strikers, them making it into the Reggaeboyz squad unless there is injuries or unavailability for players, such as, let's say, as I said in the comments, Antonio is playing a finals tomorrow. So, his season's a little longer than the normal. So I'm okay if they decided that they want to carry Trivante Stewart to the Austria game, or even Colin Anderson, any one of them, to the Austria game, give them some exposure and whatever. And then when it's Gold Cup time, you know that you're gonna call your strikers them, which are gonna be a top level if you want to go far into the competition. Not just to be there for existence sake, but to be there to actually compete against your contemporaries, right?
Yes.
Look at the youth from what do you name from Garden? No, from Jungle, the striker from Jungle, the big man striker. His name someone in the Blacks. Someone in the Blacks. Parker Blacks or something like that. He was doing well as well too. He was doing well. So, he's, even though he's maybe 562 years old, he was doing well. But I like the age profile of these two strikers. I like what they're doing, but I think, as I said, Stewart to me would get the edge, and I would take him to Austria if, like, our big strikers, them are not going to be available. I would definitely take him to Austria to
if you
give
had
him
a
exposure.
choice, Guna, between him and Corey Burke, who are you taking?
All right, so that's a tricky one now. All right. I am not the biggest fan of Corey Burke. I like what he does sometimes, but he doesn't score enough goals and he hasn't improved enough to me. Where he is at now and the availability of new players coming in who can maybe provide competition. Personally, and this is a weird one, but personally, if we're going to go for the Austria game, I would take Trivante Stewart over Burke any day of the week when going to this competition. For the Gold Cup, I would not take either of them. But for the Austria game, like we're having an eye on the future, and he's a developing player, so he has a lot to learn. He has a lot of growth to do. He hasn't reached his peak as yet, not even close. So I would take him with an eye on the future. Similar to like Shamar Nicholson when he was a youngster and he do well in the JPL and then he made his move overseas and then he was in the national team, so on and so forth. That is the kind of vibe I'm looking at. So I think Trivante Stewart or even Colin Anderson, but as I said, I have a preference towards Stewart. I think I would take them to the Austria competition, give them the exposure over Burke. Because Burke is in his 30s now, I think Burke are 30 now. So me that carry any one of them striker there with an eye on the future. But for the Gold Cup, I would carry neither of them. Because Burke is not in my squad for the Gold Cup. My three strikers are Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, and Jamalo.
All right. Thank you again. Thank you. Guna just made some sense out of that thing. Marlon, your mic is very low. We want to get back to the left back position because I think that's where Jamaica lacks.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
You see, the trip that he made to Mexico, that couple days that he went to Mexico with the senior team, improved him so much by working with the professional players them, right? He see what he needs to do to reach a professional level that we want him to be, right? I'm just sorry that Mikel Antonio wasn't there. He learned from the same Corey Burke, from Boza as well. The other players, the Maria Paz and the Ethan Pinnock, those are the players who were there. Daniel Johnson, so he saw the level that the players are. So it's as I said, Guna, from last year when they bought him. Remember when he got bought by Mount Pleasant Farm, so everybody was asking what kind of mad by this. It wasn't somebody who was dominating the league, right? The man didn't have 5 goals in the league, but he came and scored 9 goals for Mount Pleasant, and you see, it's a different player this season. But I think after the camp in Mexico, he's coming back. He's learning new stuff. He's trying to get them in his system, right? And he's becoming a better player.
As I said, Marlon, I would go far back. I would say from the Trinidad game, because I was watching him before the Trinidad game. And when the Trinidad game came and he didn't perform well at all in those games, I think he realized that he has a lot to learn. And after that, I don't know what happened. I don't know where him go drink. I don't know which river him go walk. Him go chuck off, But he changed, and I saw the difference. And both of them to me were coming into the Trinidad game on the same level. Both have their attributes and their flaws, but they both were, to me, on the same level. But I think after that game, I saw there was about 3-4 games after that, I saw this big jump from Stewart. Where I saw he was, bro, when him get the ball, he was using he's strong, right? So he was using his ability. He was using what he have. When you have striker, you use what you have. If you have pace, you use it. If you have height, you use it. If you have close control, you use it. Whatever you have, you use it. So I saw him using his strength more in the league and bullying players more so than he did prior. So that is something that I actually give him credit for, as I said, and I think it started from there. I think the Mexico game was another jump, as you mentioned, but I think it started right after the Trinidad game. I saw a difference right there in how he conducted himself. I think he learned and so what I do is wrong. Me need to step up my game, and I think based on the trajectory, I think he will be the one that will get the preference, in my view. I think based on the current trajectory.
So, Jamaica Guna, Martin Baker. No, Marlon, I want to ask you this question then, because what Guna is saying, based on him evaluating the player after that call-up, so do you think that that's why it's also important for some of these players to get the opportunity to get that call-up, to be around, to be, said JD, mind the gunshot frighten you, make you run off a road. All right, focus. Based on what Guna is saying, he saw an improvement in the player's game after the player received that call-up. and he went back to his club. So is that also implying that it's important, Guna and Marlon and Martin, that these local players deserve an opportunity to get a call up to get them introduced to a more professional setting, and they can also pick up nuggets and learn from better players
Of
and
course.
then go back to their clubs?
Of course, may I agree with that. But when it come on to the problem with me, with most of the people, them at the final squad, no problem if them they run at the pin out, if them they run Anthony. Of course, that always are going to help a player. As we Marlon say, him experience might be experience in Mexico, and him see the levels of how the man them a play and the skill set where the man them have. Him push himself to improve. So me will never disagree with that. That's why when me hear when people say we don't like the local, I don't understand. We can never disagree with that. But when it comes down to the final squad now, so the coach I got just be harsh. But the coach himself, as Marlon say, he must see some in a Stewart and Anderson. And the rest of the player then when him call up. And he might go improve them over the time. And who knows? Who knows? We just assume, who knows? Maybe one of them break out where the coach say, okay, him see the improvement so fast. Him give one of them an opportunity. I will never have a problem with that. That's what I say.
All right. My personal view is this. I am pretty straightforward with my view on this. And if you talk to a lot of the ballers them who really see themselves as footballers for the future, you will hear it echoed by them. Them man there who really looking at themselves as footballers for the future, they want to improve. They want to go overseas. They want to get better. They want to improve them skills. They want to play in a Europe Champions League, UEFA Conference League. Anyway, they want to go somewhere to play football. So if you talk to the ball of them, reason with the ball of them, you hear them and say, yo, I want to 2-year time or Europe, me for day in a railway. You over me, I say, that the man them talk about. But you have some fans who are trying to run cover for the ball of them. But the ball of them, they want to run, the real ball of them, we really want to go out, they're going to make them name. Them don't want to stay in a JPL. Them know that the JPL level is not like the level where they want to stop themselves. Me hear me reason with baller will go USL, one of my G them. And the man said, big man think that a Europe, I want to go in a dog. I just try to use USL to see if I can make some food, eat a food in a dog. But of Europe, I really want to go in a brother. I want to build up myself and do some weights and some sands and ray. So if you talk to the baller them, they want to get better to go overseas. Them don't want to suck a JPL, my G. So when you hear fans come in and run in cover, like, when they criticize the ball of them and say, yo, them not at the level them. The ball of them themselves know so them not at the level, God. The ball of them themselves know them not at the level that they want to improve. And I said I give kudos to Stewart, bro, because I've seen the improvement and I hope the trajectory continue. And another very important point again, how much goals these guys score since the season start? They're running against. Marlon, you would know this. How much goal them score from the season start?
The what? Okay, Marlon, go on.
18 and 19.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
When is the
18
last
and
time
19.
a striker score so much goals in the Premier League season? When is the last
Long time.
Thank you very much, sir.
And Guna, let me say this, Guna. I spoke to him, right? And he is disappointed that because he said he had a target of 25 for the season, right? And I think because he missed a goal at Jackson, and let me tell you this, he missed one and Bygrave missed one, and the fans weren't having any mercy on them. At the end of the game, I saw him, I spoke to him, I said, guess what? I know you have a target, but guess what? Play it simple. Right? Because he missed a clear header, Bygrave missed the same one like a minute after. And the centre and fans weren't having it with both of them. Right? They're even telling Tapa to take out both them off the field. Right? And I said, is a youth I've seen, I had a couple conversations with him and talking football. Right? The guy wanted to make it as a professional. And he's doing the work. He's not a youth really as a Guna. He put in the work.
Yeah, man, I see. Me don't know him personally, Marlon. I never talk to him. Me didn't see him one time when he was there watching, but that is it.
If you look at his body right now, even before the Trinidad game, look at his body's built. You see the muscles coming up now. Right? A person look at me Sunday at the game and say, guess what? if you get him at the right level in CONCACAF, he will be a terror to people, right? Because there's not much of those type of strikers in CONCACAF right now playing. You can probably say as a physical beast, DK and Boza and Antonio.
Is he a true number 9?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I feel like he's a true number 9.
Yes, he is.
To add to what you say, as myself, you know, personally, as I said, sometimes when you talk the things, like me will speak very boldly and me talk matter of fact, because I just communicate, right? Because I can't buy the bag of time wasting and the bag of mushy stuff. The ball of them want to improve and the ball of them want to make themselves better. So when enough of the time you hear we as fans criticize the ball of them, it's not criticism without anything, how to improve yourself or where you should be going or where you should be looking. It's criticism with a positivity behind it as well. The JPL ballers them are not at the level that they should be at. And if we're going to a tournament as a Jamaica side, knowing the kind of talent that is available to us, no JPL ball enough in there. A tournament like the Gold Cup, like where we want to go deep in the Gold Cup, we want to at least go to the semi-finals or to the finals. You know, we want rattle some cages, we want probably cause a 1 or 2 upset, we want to play some beautiful football in the process. And we use it because we generally how Jamaica does in tournaments is we grow as the tournament goes on. So you know, we probably get that draw and a 1 love, because we don't score a lot of goals, right? So we hopefully we can go deep into the Gold Cup, right? Expose the talents them that are coming through, expose the country, some local feathers to be ruffled, and that is basically what we're doing. But when a man look on it and say, you're gonna drop Jamal Lowe, or you're gonna drop Michael Antonio in favor of Trivante Stewart, or drop Shamanicus in favor of Trivante Stewart, because as I say, we're competing for spots. Trivante Stewart, I want him get scouted by people who actually look for players 24/7. When we there start talk on YouTube, you have some people right now, I look on some dossier with some baller, and I look on some videos with some baller, because that's their job. For them 9 to 5 is to get up in the morning and look on baller and assess them and look on their stats and watch video footage of them and read them dossier, how much goal them score and who they score against, so on and so forth. I didn't like none of the baller them performance against Trinidad. And I was one of the one them who was advocating for the young striker from high school, Whisper, to be as a part of the professional environment so that he can learn. But when we're going to a tournament, it's not going to a tournament to learn. You're going to a tournament to put up performances and to win it or to go deep in it. That is where you go to a tournament for. You don't go to a tournament to test out and to try out things. Unless that is a whole objective and you say, okay, I'm going with an under 23 squad. You know what I mean? You get the point I'm trying to make? If that is the objective, then that is the objective. But when you come into our Gold Cup, which is our regional big tournament, you want to go and make a mark. You want to go and basically warm up yourself, cause problems for people, make yourself more sellable to new players who might be there thinking if they want to come into the program or not. You hear say Jamaica, they are semi-finals in the Gold Cup, and they're going to play such and such side, and they're going to be and then beat this side and beat that side. It heightens the profile, because winning bring winning. So it heightens the profile for the country so that more bigger quality players can maybe come in and say, yo, I want to be a part of this movement, I want to be a part of this thing going forward. So that is where what I'm looking at. I want these 2 strikers in question to get themselves to a level where this season, done. Cool? After the season done now and off season, more here on YouTube, more Sports Prophecy report that Trivante Stewart has been signed to a team somewhere in Europe, and he's going there he's signed a 2-year contract, and he's going there to play some football, and that I will want here. I don't want to hear about them in a JPL, stuck in a JPL forever. You score 18 plus goals in the JPL. Next move from a JPL and go see if you can score 18 goals somewhere else.
Wow.
But Angola, that's one problem with doing, man. That's a problem. I don't know what the structure with JFF having a man, because for example, when a man like Stuart Leno, and you see how we are talking about him now for even being a squad, when him go overseas, it's like them just disappear. Them just vanish. And then they hear one new one. And that's the biggest problem with me.
But that's not the JFF fault, though, Martin Baker. I think a lot of the time, even as I said, when we talk about Campbell, Norman Campbell, a lot of times when the players go overseas, they fail to take that next step. I don't know if it's either they get pigeonholed, where they get comfortable at the club and they stop improving. Bro, when you make that first step overseas, that's not it. Just like what Shamar Nicholson did, just like what Kahim Paris did, it's that first step you made. I think a lot of players end up maybe enjoying the money where them get, because it's a lot more money that they would be getting in Jamaica, and they become a bit lackadaisic. So I don't think the JFF can really help you to
Me not
take the
agree with
next
that.
step. You don't think?
No, because my point is not Taylor. The point is, my question was Taylor. The man them leave JPL because Paris he get a long time before him reach the national team. Him get look over the same Bygrave we playing at the World Cup qualifier. And when the other one will leave Bygrave and go over Malta again with him. And Paris get look over them two man they win at JPL, and Paris did that perform in a Belgium. So me don't agree with that. That's my question. Why when the them leave and I perform, it's so when them a perform, all right, say some of them don't perform, but me know many out there is performing, and but yet when them leave, I will tell them to leave. It is so hard for them get a alcohol spot or not even for make the list.
Martin Baker,
Even
you
though
have to
Campbell,
take, but Martin, are you taking in consideration the politics that goes into picking a Jamaica
that's
team
what
back in the day?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Taylor. What is the structure of JFF? What is causing this problem?
But
When
that
the
is
player
not the
them left
JFF. I
and them
think that was down to the head coach. Wouldn't you say that that's a head coach, the head coach? Because at the end of the day, everybody, Tapa came out and said he's the one picking the squad. The JFF said he was the one picking the squad. So wouldn't that be down to the coach selecting players when they go overseas, they don't get lost in the pool?
And you believe that, Taylor?
Yeah, I believe that. Because I believe that I don't think any head coach, unless players, let's say a player and Tapa had personal issues, I don't think Tapa is going to sit there and see a player starring up a league and him want win, and he's a Jamaican, local Jamaican, especially because you know Tapa them love local ballers, and
But
don't
it
call
happened to
him up.
Paris.
I don't know what Marlon maybe could explain what happened with Kahim Paris, because I think
It happened to
Kahim Paris not getting a call up earlier for Jamaica, it also, I think he's suffering now because he's not getting enough opportunity to prove himself for the Jamaica team, because now the coach can't. It's actually hard for Paris play. Based on how the team is structured now, it's hard for
Yeah.
Paris play. Go ahead,
Yeah.
I
Marlon.
understand my question now, Taylor.
At
I
the time,
understand what me I try
at the
to.
time when he was playing for KKR at the time, right? He played for Cracker at the time when he was scoring a lot of goals in the second division. I personally went on all platform and said he's not ready,
Okay.
right? He's not ready because person will say yes, he's scoring, but guess what? When I told person that the league was way below the JPL, when he went to KFC Kapano, when he the second season, when he went to Kappa and start performing, that's when I assessed the player and say yes, it's time now for him to be called to the squad. Right? Paul called him to the squad. Tapa never called him. Tapa was the one who gave him his debut. Right? Tapa didn't see him as a part of his plan at the time. So Paul brought him in the squad. And person of Elaka, even the other day, somebody is telling me that, Paris is not playing. So I asked him, said, bring normal camera to Dynamo Kiev and see if do they make the squad. I said, you guys don't understand. I said, Dynamo Kiev is one of the biggest football team in European football in history. Right?
Agree. Yeah.
Sergei Rebrab, the Shevchenkos, and all these guys, that's where they came from.
Yes.
Right? Even person said that Boza's not playing at Spartak Moscow. Realize the players that are there. There's two Russian strikers, Quincy Promise, Baldev and Burkina Faso. So it's the players you're up against. Remember, no? Shama was brought in as a main striker for them, right? And when they'd have got it to Champions League player because of the whole embargo from them from FIFA, ban them from not competing in European football, right? The European League when it was there after the war breakout, FIFA kicked them out. So sometimes you have to assess players at the team they are, right? Because even the other day I asked somebody, I said, does Cephas get into Dynamo Kiev starting 11,
Never.
right? So person have to understand the players are there. There are Ukrainian national players there. There are players from Macedonia playing in there. There's Bosnian player playing inside as well. So we have to assess the players then.
That's
Me,
true, man.
I will
no
bring him
cut you.
right now, Stem. I still take him to the Gold Cup.
Yeah, and
Paris.
that had a problem with some of the fans them. Them need to understand, say, yeah, players, there's millions of players we are playing in the league, them, you know. And there's players with so much talent we not even would imagine. And them need to understand, say, these guys are coming up against talented player, not some ready make and them the people them just fling them on the field. No. Talented players. So the fans them need to understand this when like how Marlon say, because 1000% agree with Marlon, JT Taylor and Gona, 1000%. And that maybe some of the fans them lack, and some people in the federation lack to understand, say, yes, them not get time. Yes, but you have to look at the environment and the people them where them a fight to get spot with. And the normal players.
And
if them come to the JPL, them score 30 or 40 goals.
That's what happened to a player like Tyree McGee. So now that we have had the discussion, let's just get the verdict from Jamaica Guna, Marlon, and Martin Baker. Jamaica Guna, does any local base player make the Gold Cup squad for you? Based on the season is wrapping up now, going into the finals, we had months of football, club football. Does any local base player make the final 23 for you guys? Your mic is muted, Jamaica Guna. Your mic is muted, Marlon. Your mic is muted, Martin Baker. All right. So
let me go first. Make the general game go after. As me tell me,
Short answer, no.
No, for me too. Cause I pick my 23 by myself, you know. And as me tell you earlier in the chat, I like to see them at least some of them bringing at the 30-man squad to make the coach see them for at least see what them can give. But me still not see none. So my answer is no as well. Just yeah.
Okay.
I don't really see them make it, but the closest person to be a part of it would be Trivante Stewart. Meaning the striker option there is not as wide as the wingers or the defenders that we have there. So he might be somebody who can probably be around as a reserve player, right? But it's difficult with the talents that's there and the quality of players that are basically there right now.
Okay.
But Marlon, if Stewart not make the flight for Austria, you'd have change, right? If he not make the flight. If
as I said, I think if he's going, he's gonna arrive late.
He might arrive late. Okay.
Okay, and people.
So he might feature in the second match.
Yeah, you can still feature the first match. Remember, because that's why I was laughing. Somebody saying that they're playing final, they won't have time to go. So that's why I asked me if playing on the fly on Sunday, right? Because their flights two airline go straight to Frankfurt for Austria. 25 minutes.
People, just hit the like button. We only have
they have time.
I
think he might be the player right now locally that have the chance more than everyone. I think Foster as a goalkeeper, I have Foster in my ranks as the 5th best goalkeeper in the pool of 6. But I think the keepers will be there. You might the 2 English keepers, Jamal Waite and Blake, they might be the keepers there. And persons don't rule out this guy Corey Adai.
Yeah, haven't seen much of Corey Adai. People, hit the like button. We have 109 people on the stream and we have 60 likes on the video. Just hit the like button. At least a few people who just came in. Just hit the like button. Big up yourself, Kush. Big up yourself, Patrick Riley. We want to touch on the left back position. Before we do that, guys, just hit the like button. Let me see if we can get the likes up a little bit more. Let's see if the like can be compatible with the number of people on the stream. So that tells me that a good 3% of people watching the stream hasn't hit the like button. Corey Adai is solid, says Jason Guna. Hit the like button, people. We're still only at 70 likes on the video. We need a few more likes on the video. Marlon and Martin, do you take who's the goalkeepers? Because somebody is saying that the only local based player who should be there is Foster, the goalkeeper. Is that does he merit another call up, Foster?
What, in the 23 or the 30?
Either way, in the squad for the Gold Cup.
Foster, boy, my keeper, is Blake, China Boys, and Wait, and yeah, we get our next keeper. What the next name? Brandon. What name? Brandon?
Corey Adai and Foster.
Corey Adai. But I only 3 keepers, so no. Him up there now because he's a good keeper. I watch him in the JPL and him do some good stuff, so me can't give him credit. But as with me, everybody has say, me personally and most people views the levels where Marlon just say are the options and we have for the goalkeeper spot. Boy, Foster it are really hard for Foster make it. So my answer would be no at this time.
Okay, so no.
But he's a good keeper still, a good keeper.
Gangster Talk in Jamaican boy say Foster should be in the team, guys, so he can get a contract and get to leave the country. Jesus Christ.
What?
Gangster, me know say I must troll a troll now, because remember we move away from that whole concept of we're not gonna use the national team for players to get contract. Players in the national team should be there on merit, based on performance and their capabilities and what they offer to the team. We can't have people in the team anymore, guys, where it's based on getting them a contract. We don't want youngster talk. Come on, man. I'm disappointed now you saying that, brother. Come on. Better if you did say he's one of the best goalkeepers on the island and he deserves a call up. But you can't just say, give him a chance so he can leave the country. The left back position, Marlon. The left back position, when I'm looking in the squad, look very weak. Greg Lay didn't get that call up in that Mexico game. Kemar Taxi Lawrence was there. I'm not big on Taxi Lawrence, and I had to put him in my squad. Marlon, who is the left back? Who's gonna play left back for Jamaica this summer?
Amara Bell. Shares Taxi back up. There it is.
Your mic was very low. Your mic was very low when you said that, Marlon.
Amara Bell. First choice and Taxi. So Taxi is back up.
So you're taking...
Mine different, Taylor. Bell and Lee over Lawrence. So me and Marlon kind of disagree on a side, but a conversation. So my own different. So you talk to that.
Okay, so Marlon would take Taxi. Let me know in the comment section, people. Would you take Kemar Taxi Lawrence as the backup for Amari Bell? Because we know Amari Bell is the first choice left back. Football Hero say Foster at 30. Who will go buy him? Avis says Foster makes the team of merit alone. Did you watch his last international game? Gangster, why you think Knight was pushed in the national team? But we move away from that, guys. We moved away from that, gangster. We move away from that. Even Mr. Rudolph Speed with all of him, Mugri, he was...
When Knight got in, I had no problem with it because we didn't have the quality of goalkeepers. Right? It was Dylan Barnes Dylan Barnes and Blake. So Knight got his chance. But Jamal Wait, who was crying for all along, got his chance. So Cannabis class is there. Corey Ada is there. Right? Knight and Foster, 5 and 6. I have Foster in front of Knight same way. And Knight is playing in USL too.
Okay. Yes, guys. Thank you again for another show. Thank you again for chipping in, guys. Still just hit the like button on your way out. We're getting close. The first game, Jamaica versus Qatar, that will be next week, Thursday. That's going to be a big game, and we will be chopping that up. Hopefully,
Taylor, you're muting, Taylor.
Yes, the next game, the fans could hear me. You guys couldn't hear me. Jamaica versus Qatar, that will be next week, Thursday. That will be a big game. The squad will be out this week. I'm hearing close to the weekend as the squad will be released and we'll be knowing the players. So we're clocking into the Instagram and the Twitter feed for the Jamaica Football Federation and the individuals around the team that release this kind of information. So it's going to be exciting. YouTube will go hot when the squad drop. Trust me, people. When the squad drop, YouTube are go hot when the squad are drop because people head are go scratch them. And if we see players like Dishard Bernard and those guys, Latibadir in the squad, then we know that their passport is close to them receiving a passport. But based on what we were on the stream the other night, and we found out that if these two players don't receive their documents, it will be due to the PICA, the Jamaica Passport Office, who hasn't done their job. I heard that the JFF has done their part and the players' documents are in and they're just waiting for that. So if the coach then selects these players, then we're thinking that there is some indication that the players will get the passport in time for the game this summer. So thank you again, Gangster Talking. Know yourself, Chris Smith, everybody who came through today. Marlon and Martin Baker came through and chop it up. Jamaica Guna as well. And guys, remember to follow Jamaica Guna on YouTube. He's an artist, as you know, from RDX. His YouTube page is Renegade. So check out Renegade for all the new music. He's a Jamaican he's doing his solo career now. So go out there and support people, guys. And anything that you guys need us to support as well, please let us know. Just drop it in the comment section and we shout it out on stream and we can support each other. It's that simple. It's not rocket science, guys. We just click a like button, a share button, or something. It doesn't take, we're not asking somebody for run, go a fire and come back. But yes, it's gonna be interesting, guys, to see who's in the squad. I haven't heard the fans spoke much about Richard King. I think that game that we watched with Richard King in Iceland, a lot of fans weren't excited about the league. Me, myself, I wasn't excited about the quality of the league. Nothing to do with Richard King and Busy Atkins's performances. It's just that the league to me didn't look like it's something that's going to help Richard King to propel. Maybe he will learn some things there and he will get a look in from other bigger clubs. But I don't think the league is something that put him on a massive scale to make him look bigger as a player. I think if we don't mind, Richard King gets lost in translation based on the league that he's playing. Because now I haven't heard the fans stating that Richard King needs to be there. Jamai Topi was a player that was left out as well. That tells me that the coach has woke up to realizing that Jamai Topi is just not ready for international football. Don't think Jamai Topi is ready, so the coach decided not to bring him in. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. Go ahead, Marlon.
In Tope, right now, if at the centre back, right, bringing back Hector, Deshaun Bernard, right, Mariapa is still there, which would have been still ahead of them. I've watched King in 4 games. The first game people watch and stuff and say yes, the quality. The league has quality in it, right? When they play, there are two of the lowest team playing in the league. When you watch the Valor and the Storage and what's the name, Vides playing, these are the top teams in the league, right? These are the ones who have better facilities and stuff.
Okay.
So everybody go off by the first game they play. You can have so many persons who are watching play that game. They have been starting for all of the games, right? Basically every game his rating is around 6.8, 6.6, right? So he's one of the mainstay in their team right now, right? The team is not doing that well, but his performance here, Busy hasn't got as much start as him, but King has really cemented himself in that centre back position. So he's playing okay.
Okay, there's some information again. Marlon always keep tabs on the leagues, and as you say, finally though, Marlon, do you think that Norman Campbell was slighted? He was unjustly not selected for the squad. I do think that Norman Campbell is still young and he still have a bit of way to go. I still think that Norman Campbell is in the pool with Lamar Walker, Tyree McGee, and those players. You think he was slighted, or you think just like me that he needs a little bit more time to develop?
I think he could have been a part because there are players in the pool right now, which basically you don't see them figuring for Jamaica in the long term, short or long term right now, right? So I think that's, and especially being an attacker as a winger, persons when they're talking about somebody who's playing in a really high level league, he's in one, right? The team is not really a top team that he's playing in, right? So, but he's doing what he needs to do. The last couple of games, what he had, 3 goals, 4 assists. So, can't beat the man for that,
Can't beat
right?
him. Can't
So,
beat him.
and
Chris Smith said we need to
and
talk.
the thing
Go
about
ahead.
and the thing about it still, if you watch a game, I'm not talking about highlights. You watch him in the game, he's an impact player on that team, right? He's an impact. Every time he touch a ball, he draw a defender to him. So he's playing very, very good. Didn't have the best of start when the season started, but he's finishing on a high.
Do you think
So
Lamar Walker?
he-
I don't think Lamar Walker deserve a call up, people. I don't think like I'm still trying to figure out what are we doing with Lamar Walker? Where is it going with Lamar
you know,
Walker, Marlon?
we have to also understand Lamar Walker is 22. Right? So Lamar Walker, McGee, and Nama Campbell, they are all they are in the same age group. Right? Remember the coach has worked with him. He had a good game against Cameroon. Right?
And what
I think
about Tyree McGee? Is Tyree McGee before I said that, people, 10 more likes on the video and we get to 100. 10 more likes on the video. Any 10 person just hit the like button. 10 more likes on the video and we get to 100 people. We are at 90 likes on the video. 10 more likes on the video. We're looking at the likes and it's not moving. 10 more likes on the video, people, and we get to 100 quick and fast. Before Marlon breaks down Tyree McGee and how is he gonna get on the field in Colorado. 10 more likes, people. We need 10 more likes on the video. Marlon, take it away. How is Tyree McGee gonna break into the first team at this club?
Well, he's actually in the first team.
I mean, in the starting lineup. Because I remember he came off the bench.
He got himself in the starting lineup.
Okay.
Yeah, he got himself in the starting lineup. And remember, I said it before. I said there's two things. Either the coach gonna change the system to fit him, and surprisingly, he's playing there as a winger.
He's a winger now.
Right? He has been playing on both sides. And the two wings were basically Deshaun Beckford, Rodriguez, and Malik Foster. Right? He has pushing Malik Foster off one at a time, and Rodriguez, that's the midfielder from El Salvador. So, but he's been looking good so far. Not fully fit. The sharpness is not there.
He
But
did look like he bulked up a bit, though, Marlon. He looked like he
has muscle on him. But one thing I've realized, I guess you can see that he was at a better football place than where he was playing out here.
Yes,
even the commentator, if they game out, I think it was last Friday, the commentator was saying that his ability to assess the play faster than anything before the ball reach him. You can see.
Yeah.
You can see.
And let me say this, Marlon. I know, guys, that Tyree McGee, 2 more likes, people. 2 more likes on the video. 2 more likes before we dive into this Tyree McGee, because I didn't want to miss this. Tyree McGee is still a player that I'm keeping an eye on. I still think this player has value. I know he's at a low point right now, but I still think this player have value. 2 more likes on the video, people. 2 more likes. 99. We need 1 more like. Any 2 persons or 1 person, let's hit the like button. Tyree McGee, for me, Marlon, when I watched him coming off the bench in that game, he looked like his anticipation for the play was a bit more advanced than a lot of the players that he was playing with. I'm going to be very honest with you. When he got the football, he looked like he knew where he wanted to go. We saw the difference in his level coming in from Europe, going into a USL team. I know we probably come down hard on the player a lot, but we have to give him credit. That's something that I saw in his game. His anticipation looked much different, much better. He looked like he's a bit more aggressive now as well. He just needs to work a bit more harder off the football. But I have seen improvement in Tyree McGee's game. Just watching him coming off the bench in Colorado, he looked a bit more stronger. He looked bulkier. And he looks like he wants to be a bit more involved. It looked like, I don't know if he's watching the YouTube videos, But Tyree McGee looks like he wants to be more engaged
But taking
in
the
the
ball
game.
and speed. Yeah, he's going, he demanded the ball. I see in the game the other day that he went, took the ball in the middle. He still has those turns same way that really get people eyes really open and say, yes, he has the talent to go far. So
Yeah, and
I think
Taylor Maram, I believe say as well, him see the opportunity for 2026. So as I said, Taylor, when me love with him do the simplest thing on the
Yes,
football. He make the
yes,
game look
yes. He
so
simplifies the game.
when him in a proper team as a local baller, he make the game look so him was the one where just even if the pass simple, him make the game so simple and say yes. This is all he just start reaching based on the bank deal we make. Because I believe say if he make the move in the USL 2 years ago, I
And then
believe
kick
saying would
on,
have
and
in the
then
seat
kick
and the
on.
talking right now.
And then, but maybe he wouldn't have. But I think that's even why Ravel Morris said that Tyree McGee was one of the players to look out for. He has that same thing that Ravel Morris does. Make that simple pass, simplify the game, and just keep it moving. I think that's what Lamar Walker lacks. Chris Smith says, JT and Marlon, when is Maggie going to compete with Weston McKennie, Musa, and Tyler Adams? No, but I understand where you say Chris Smith, but we're talking about Tyree McGee as an individual and him developing individually. Those
Going
players
forward,
those players that you call are world-class players, but we're talking about him as a Jamaican prospect that a lot of us
going forward,
deemed as someone for the future. So what I'm saying is, I think that's why Ravel Morrison, like the player, he simplifies the game. He makes that quick pass. And that's what Lamar Walker lacks. If Lamar Walker can take some things from Tyree McGee game, because that's what Lamar Walker doesn't do well. He complicates the game. Lamar Walker holds up the football where he doesn't need to hold up the football. Lamar Walker has an engine. We talk about Lamar Walker. Lamar Walker has an engine, people. Lamar Walker can run for 90 minutes. I've seen him done it, like just keep pressing, running for 90 minutes. Lamar Walker can do that. But Lamar Walker makes the football game very complicated. Holding up on the play, or a player makes the run and Lamar Walker still looking down at the football. You remember when we play football at Jamaica and the say, pick up your head. Pick up your head. I don't think them did tell Lamar Walker that. Lamar Walker keeps looking down at the football and it's just complicating the game for him. But we're going to just still keep an eye on those players. I can't wait for this squad to drop. Maybe I still think that Lamar Walker...
They're two different players. And they are two different players. I think Lamar Walker has more to his skill set than Maggie. He give you assists, he give you goal. I think Maggie is a player that you look on to create opportunities and stuff like that. Walker is more forceful at him. Has his skill set same way, right? As you say, sometimes he make the wrong. I think decision making at times go against Walker. But when Walker is on his day, he's unplayable. Right, I remember. I think it was last year I watched him in the US Open Cup against one of the MLS team, and he was really going against I don't remember the right name, but he was every time he got the ball, he was like he was just taunting him through the whole game. But I said they're two young players. We can't give up on them, right? I think if things have gone through how he expected, he'd have been playing the Russian Premier League now. Sometimes when you try to work something out and it doesn't go your way, so they have to end up go back. Luckily, Portmore United was there, so he could have played for them. So that it didn't work against him.
All right, people.
So, but I said,
go ahead.
As I said, they're young. We cannot give up on them same way. They still have a future same way. So hopefully they develop over the next 2 years and can play a part in Jamaica football, whether it be in club level or on the international level.
Umzo, I know you're saying why are we still talking about these players, but these players do have potential. These players were scouted by scouts who are looking for players. So at the end of the day, we can't just say them no good and just dash them with a good. Jay Taylor, Steven Sejude, Destroy Cavalier and Waterhouse. dog walking in the game, and he is not in the Haiti senior team. Yo, Chris Smith, oh, yo, thank God you know Chris Smith are the coach. If Chris Smith are the coach, none
And
of
this,
them
and
man
this,
and
and
see the
this.
team.
But yes, sir. You have to look at this. Yes, he was exceptional in the CFU. What he has done from that, he hasn't gone at it. But right now, if you look at it, he was still in JD that he just got a contract for a team in Estonia.
You talk about
It's somebody we were
Stevenson,
looking to
right?
see. Yeah, we are looking for Jude to go in the French league, right? So he basically got a contract there a couple months ago to go to Estonia, right? So it's an exceptional talent. We saw what he had, what he did in the CFU championship, what he did in the under 20 tournament, but he hasn't kicked on,
He hasn't kicked on, and that's another
right? 'Cause
thing.
if you look at it, if you basically look at it, with the players there, Duncan McKenzie and him, he had a better tournament than Duncan McKenzie. Duncan McKenzie has gone on to play in Europe same as well,
And another
right?
thing, Marlon, is people have to understand Jamaican players are not the only players who don't kick on. There's a lot of top talent around the world that doesn't kick on, guys. It's because we're predominantly focused on Jamaican football. Every country, I seen players out of Uruguay. When I look at Manchester United preseason games, I think last year, I saw this player out of Uruguay, and I still can't see him pop up anywhere. So we have to understand that there's a lot of players don't kick on. It's not just Jamaica. It's not just your Tyree McGee's. It's not just your Peter Lee Vassels. It's not just your Lamar Walkers. It's not just your Alex Marshall. A lot of players don't kick on to take the next step. So seeing players being good at that level, Chris Smith, we have to understand. We might say, Marlon, him a kicking has nothing to do with form. Transfer has a lot to do with it, says JD on that one, Marlon. So we have to keep in mind that a lot of players just don't make that next big move. No, even Ronaldo Cephas, I'm waiting to see. I think he should only have one more season at this club, Marlon. If he's there at this club for 2 more seasons, he's gonna miss that opportunity. He's gonna miss that opportunity. So he has to kick on after this season. Because when you're in those lower leagues in Europe and you have 2 brilliant seasons, there's a window of opportunity for you to move on to a better club. And if he doesn't move on to a better club, he's just gonna get faded as well. What do you think about that, Marlon?
Yes,
Your mic, you're low
and
again.
in Europe,
And I think
they call it.
JD is here to take you on one of your points that I
No, man, I'm not here to fight with anybody. I'm just here to say what you're saying about other players. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you, but Marlon was speaking, but him did low. Marlon, get low again.
JD never had
I'm
any
saying,
low point. That's all I'm saying. But the way you evaluated it, J Taylor, remember, 80 is a team. 80 is a country where players not playing. So once they finished with the competition, they had to go back and evaluate their team. He had 2 MLS contracts, and also he was trying to target France. He never got any deal from France. So what they did, they tried to go at the European way to get him in the European leagues to see if people can see him, and then he can try and aim to France. But France was always his first wave, because I know people getting closer to him, and that's what they had said. So that was their intention from day one. I think that talent is an exceptional talent, and I don't think he's a flopper, half form, or nothing. I just think he's just trying to keep himself without getting injured and get to go away. So let's see what he does from this point.
Okay, you heard that, Marlon, with JD.
JD know that. Is I am the one who tell JD that he transferred off to Europe, but he was not. So he gone to a feeder league. So as I was saying about Cephas, the Macedonian league and the Slovenian league and stuff, these leagues are considered feeder league to the bigger leagues, right? So if he does another season and he performs same way, if I put it this way, if he start the season back in Macedonia it's a possibility he'll be on a move in January. Depends on how he's perform. Because
But
he has
that's
opened
what
eyes
I'm
for
trying to tell
a lot of
JT.
big clubs in Europe.
So it's not like the player don't the player is on a bad form because he want to JTL is slick, he wants to draw down other
Five
teams,
minutes.
players to put it down to the level of what Jamaican problems having. JD is not that player, JTL. So I'm very sorry. You can't pull that one to make people sympathize with Jamaican players. JD is a special player, just like all people talk about Whisper. And I actually think he's better than Whisper. And I'm not gonna take that back. And I
Jesus
am actually
Christ.
strongly convinced by that. I'm not going to take that back. I actually know that for a fact.
Yo,
And I'm going to stick with that.
JD, when you did little at Jamaica, you used to fling stone on people. How stop?
It don't matter, but me I try to show no on the bias because you just try to about you other guys.
No, JD, I wasn't the one who a Marlon break down the play,
Yes, but Marlon is a so man say, but me I tell you what go on because me I tell you Marlon can so man say, but me not agree with Marlon. Me I talk about the player never done tools. The team when play for, you have to understand say that them are playing a competition. Marlon left that out. So you could have just use your style now to make it look like say other people team them are play them are down to from other country. But we have to give here the credit. Here and Jamaica are on the same level of
But
football.
JD, aren't other players? But there's players as well from other countries who are not breaking through, right?
That is true. That is true. But those guys are not one of them. Violet is one. You see the line where people tell, "Oh, Jamaica the best team in the Caribbean, best league in the Caribbean." Make 80 league that go on because Violet are the best team in the Caribbean. They never talk about that on the list. Them unfortunately mistake that on the list, J Taylor. So sometimes when we talk, we only always I highlight what we are good at, but not talk the actual truth. Because Violet is actually from the Caribbean, and them are the best team in the Caribbean, and the kid is from that best team. So imagine you be the best team, beat MLS team, beat Mexican team, but you know come on for the field, come on from the field. Marlon just use the same calculation to say that some players you have to look at the league with Marlon use the same thing with Kaim Paris to say look at the quality of the players them. So how can we use him not coming off the bench to say not on form when he made the best team in the entire Caribbean? Look at that now, J Taylor. You use that metric now because Marlon just used it for Kaim Paris to get pick over other people. So how you're gonna determine his form when these guys are so good? They're beating MLS teams and also
Really, next more Julian Chris Smith, so that he destroyed Cavalier and what else in the
no man, but you can't, Marlon, you can't start the point. You can't start a war with Chris Smith, Marlon. You will get caught in a Chris Smith war.
I was the one I said that if you compare what I was looking for the player to move on to, I said, things have not gone that way. If you make a comparison to where where he is now and where people had him started as going at the time, right? Because he was the top talent. He was the top talent in the league. However, transfer, the team wanted a lot of money for him, which none of the clubs they decided to pay. Right?
Yeah, but remember, Marlon, but you never, if you tell J Taylor, like said the man that he can, you have to tell the man say there was deal for him. Him just never take that deal because maybe the money where them want and the direction where you want go.
In this video message from Christmas and me, I said
Okay. I'm coming around war. Sorry, Marlon, I'm coming around war.
Chris Smith, man. Chris Smith.
I said the player hasn't gone on for what you're expecting because the team wanted a lot of money for him.
Yes, I would agree with that because that is the accurate statement. But you give the one J Taylor ammunition to make him kind of on a campaign of JD,
a Chris Smith like said the man walking like dog.
He never walking like dog. That is 2 overlap ball. Him actually body king and then him screw him up. So 3 times him pass the player.
Jesus Chris Smith said the man walking like dog and so the man then upon the same level. So then Marlon explained say, well, the player his first choice was France, but he didn't actually kick on to go to France. And then me
can't beat him, J Taylor. You know why you can't beat him but France, J Taylor? Because we see one of our starting player go to France and then kick him down to the second level and them saying people good enough for playing at the second level. You understand me? So if him not ready for go to the second level, you see the quality of France as well. You understand me? Because the facts are there, you know. So you can't even beat the youth them because he might teens just the same. He might reach 28 Marlon. He might 18 now. He might 18 now, don't? He might 18.
That's what I'm telling Chris, because Chris is saying that he isn't a part of the team. So that's why I said the player has a kicked on from what we're looking for. But
No.
So that's why I
Chris
say that,
Smith says so
right?
Marlon and Line didn't Stevens Jude dog walk Cavalier and Waterhouse.
Right? My man, I get a record. The guy was good in the league, right? The guy had a good tournament, and this is it now. Right? The guy had a good tournament. What I said, me and JD have a conversation because I actually tell JD what he said. Him gone to Europe, right? I will come to him and look. We see, I think Estonia, most Estonia in Ghana, right? Right? Violet, they want a lot of money from I think it was Rems FC, one of them wanted him, right? But they wanted to take the player, right? Because he was on 18 years, they wanted to take the player, right? Take the player and loan, and then sign him, and whatever they feel like give them, I'll develop the contract. It's the same to the MLS. MLS wanted to bring him as a MLS too, right? So that way you don't pay no big transfer fee for him. But they had him as a top talent, so they were holding off for money. At the end of the day, the player was being stifled.
Well, I just say go. Yes,
All right, then big boss. I'm gonna show them. I just come in and through me if you. You know, because me I say me see me the kind of system like say we are give favoritism because one player born in Jamaica. But me get Marlon accurate on the statement. But me just say JD the man is still that good, J Taylor, but there is levels to football, and that's why we say whisper of it being in a team.
Are you
so
missing talk about this ball?
So like funny. That's what me think Chris Smith try lead to J Taylor. And that's what me think Chris Smith try lead to.
Are you
we
missing
try
talk
force a
about this
man
ball?
When we have a better team than 80. How we do the metric there?
Yeah. Are you missing talk about this ball, JD? And then me actually look him up. I saw you video.
J Taylor and me. CONCACAF page have him as the number one talent.
No, me I said before I zoomed in on the ball, I went missing to highlight him because I saw him in the competition. He was and then I looked at some videos and he looked like a decent player. But then when I highlight him, then you can see articles start popping up around him as well.
JTL say look like a decent player, but you might describe whisper superstar generational talent. You see what
JD, Jesus Christ. I'm saying no people. JD are one of them youth that used to wake up out of bed, go drop some big stone for some people house at night time. Yeah, man. I set up JD come set me up right now.
I set up me. I listen to the something them. I mean, I try I listen to them. Very good show. Very good show. I really enjoy the show. You get me? Yeah, I really enjoy the show. Only the gunshot. I can't bother because you can't drive JTL. People can listen when people drive.
Gunshot of fire and I can't.
Man, a good show. Good
all right, we're gonna remove the man
program and hit the like button, people. Subscribe to the man program and hit the like button.
Yeah, man. A person writing at the comment said, JT, the clapping all right in a show, but the fake clap too loud, brother. Yeah, man. We take all criticism, brother, and we look on it. Yeah, JD, hopefully when the squad drop, we can do a collaboration, vice versa. One on your
I have no problem, bossy.
Yeah, we do a collaboration, one on your show, one on my show. When the squad for the friendlies.
No, we have to invite Marlon.
Yeah.
We have plan, Can you have your little plan things,
Yeah. So. And JD, but quickly though, and as you know, the video was about Trivante Stewart. Before we end the show, you saw the game yesterday. What are some of the things that you think Trivante needs to work on for him to take that next step where you can say, I think this young man deserves a look in?
All right, so J Taylor, the thing is, him can short up a lot of things. and strong in one area, and that's what required to make the team tick.
Okay,
You
that's
understand me?
true. That's
The
true.
team could get called instant, but still not good enough for the team. But he's good enough to get the job done for the link up play. I'm not saying good enough for the team, but maybe he's not at the level as other players. Then, but because his older play is good, he can just stay. He can just do that little function and get Liam Bailey and Bobby Reed in the game, or Liam Bailey and Shamar Nicholson. If you don't have a Mikel Antonio available, so the player does not necessarily have to be
A
at his
complete
best to
product.
make it now. He can still make it because he has the hold up skill set, and that's what I said. I would have picked him over Kaim Paris and over Whisper and Cephas as well as that additional place that would have been up for grabs. Because
Okay.
if when we do the listing, even with force a few man with force out a few man, it still comes down to one position where you're going to be
Yeah.
fighting around players. Corriban, Cephas.
I mean that tell Taylor JD when we do your list. It is tough.
And surprisingly, I would take three strikers, and Trivante Stewart would have been that one because his older play is actually might be his older play at this point might be as good as anyone else in the
People,
team. You know, 'cause
people, when you hear it from IMAXit himself, JD is saying you hear it. So when you back him up back again, we don't know. Him a fling stone on the house top.
J Taylor, I said that at the start of the video. He never wanted to listen.
Yeah,
I said the man pull the video back up. I said his older play. The first text I put in the chat, I said I would have picked him over Whisper
I
and
saw it
Paris.
and
That's what I said.
but now that you're on stream and you basically articulate it in a way, so the fans see. So JD is saying that he, based on certain attributes that the player has, he would have the player in the squad as an additional player. And so no,
So J Taylor, let me ask you a question, J Taylor. Look at this now. Don't you want to get the best out of Liam Bailey? Because you think that if Liam Bailey is at his top, the team has a better opportunity to win, right?
Yes. And JD, that's why I'm.
Let me finish it. So if you have an opportunity, a person where Liam Bailey can bounce off because Liam Bailey doesn't have the defensive covers, and also he needs someone to run off. Would you not sacrifice an additional winger or a wing forward to bring a target man?
No, JD, the reason why I'm even having this discussion, I'm saying to the fans that because if we go on the notion that, listen, no man at JPL no good, then we're not gonna have an open mind anymore about any player. So I was saying to the fans, let's put it all on the table. Look at the different parameters that we use to judge players. And as you said, he doesn't need to be a rounded player in all areas. He can be strong in an area that actually complements what we're trying to do as a team. And I'm saying, JD, the second goal that he scored yesterday, it's a quintessential goal of how they used to train strikers to post up your defenders, control and turn and shoot. And he executed that very well in that game. And the first goal, his first touch was very good in that tight spot to take the football, take down the football and have it in a position to score. So I said to the fans, shouldn't we look at the player differently if he's showing some level of improvement?
Yes, I would agree. And I think that's what the coach will look at. I hope the coach is looking at that because I know people trying to force the coach to do different things. You understand me? But I think he is the only Jamaican playing or anybody inside Jamaica that should be possible really able to make the team. I honestly believe so, and I think he will contribute. Don't just bring players because you want to give them caps, and don't just do certain things. You want to sell players and them stuff there. Bring the guy that he can contribute, and I think that Trivante Stewart would be the one to contribute because
Chris
we don't
Smith
have
is saying,
Andre
JD,
Gray.
who are you gonna drop out of the team fee?
I told them if they want me to go over my best 23, if available with passport and stuff. You'd have Clark in goal, Blake, and wait, because wait deserves his spot based on his placement.
Yes.
And what he did in the competition before, the main matches, and what he did after. Blake, wait definitely prove himself, and Clark is one of the highest ceiling goalkeepers we have. So that is the 3 goalkeepers. Left 20 more players. And the centre backs now, if all of them have passport, it has to be Deshaun Bernard. Latibodia would have come out to be a right back. All right. Yes, but let me just name the players them. So Ethan Pinnock and Damian Lowe makes their position off its own. Period. Then you have Deshaun Bernard, and then I would have to consider that's my three. And Wizarding, I always put Wizarding in that batch. So that's four. So
Okay.
Wizarding makes seven
Seven
players so
players.
far. And the right back side you'd have Latibodir and Lambakisa. That's nine players. On the left back side, Amari Bell and Greg Lee, I would have brought in. I'm going to save that final spot to see if I can use it for something else.
That's
So
11.
that's nine. That's 9 and 2, 11 right there. Between all defensive line. Then in midfield you have the three that we always talk about. John Russell, DJ, and Ravel. That's 14, right? Yes. Then you go in the wide areas now. You have Jamal Lowe, Liam Bailey, Bobby Reed, that's 17 already. Hutchinson make 18 so far, all right? Yes. And then now you go up top now to just clear it off to make 20. Shamar Nicholson and Mikel Antonio to make 20 players right there. And then now you start trickling down the squad now, who you're gonna add. Who you're gonna add. I would bring Trivante Stewart to make 21 right there. Jamal Lowe to make 22.
You
And
already
then the
gave
final
Jamal Lowe, right? You already gave.
took Jamal Lowe, good. I took Jamal Lowe and Shamar Nicholson.
No, you took Jamal Lowe, I think, with the wide players, right?
Good. You had one more player on the list that
SA
we
grade, JD, SA
You
grade.
didn't say
no,
Demara Gray.
No, Damara agree. Obviously, Damara agree. If that's I said, if possible, to make 22 right there, 22 right there, and then now you have to go back right at the back, and you have to add in Taxi as the third player.
What
So
about
because he's a
Javian
left,
Brown? So now you have Javian Brown, Taxi Lawrence.
we just reached 23. How much more you want to put in, J Taylor?
No,
At
on the
23 with
last 22 spot, it's gonna come down to Javian Brown and Taxi Lawrence. And
yes. And whosoever you want to put in it, a forward or a backward or anything you want to put in it.
okay, but that's a solid squad. I think me and your squad is the only player I don't
And
have
you
is
can
Javante.
have it right as well.
Yeah, the only
And
player. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I said the only player that me and you have differently was Trivante Stewart and Corey Burke, and I think that's where the discussion is.
Okay, so now that me explain myself why Corey Burke and Trivante Stewart. So it comes down to one position really, and I think it's gonna have like 7 players fighting for the one position.
Yes,
You get me?
yes.
7 players fighting for. And remember, say have Splat and those the kid here that's coming in. If they show if they impress any side, they're gonna be in the team. Any side, they're gonna be around the team. You know why? Because we don't have a defensive midfielder. We don't really have that coverage. You understand me? So anything they do,
Ian Frey.
Ian Frey coming off injury.
Yeah, he's coming off injury, so he's out.
Shows up like that next
No,
week.
I know I had Bobby Reed in it, man. I had Bobby Reed, and Liam Bailey to make sure we clear up the big names. So
No,
yeah,
what I'm saying, JD, I said if Ian Frey shows up as a centre back who's playing
yes.
CDM now,
Mhm.
he might take one of them and sit them down and send them to watch again.
JD left out
Thank you very much.
Kevin Lambert. You guys left out Kevin Lambert.
No, man. If Free performs, I love Lambert. You know, no, sorry, I use the wrong word. I respect Lambert. As a player, I thought he did well, but nobody in Jamaica can respect him. So for reasons I don't know, you know.
Okay, yeah, because I have Lambert in my squad here on my 23. Kevin Lambert is there because of continuity, and I think that the coach have some familiarity with the player.
I never continue with him in Mexico.
Me mean like he had him as a depth chart player. So I wonder if he would just still keep him as that certainty that where John Russell and
right? Frey is a younger version of Lambert, a centre back who can play stadium, who is better with the ball, right? Lambert might be more physical and stronger, but somebody has a bigger IQ, right? Is a player who strings a lot of true passes in as a CDM. So as I said, if he shows up and they coach him and he's the coach you like, can go forward and can defend. And those are the players that arguments like as I tell person, people keep asking about CDM. Grimsey is not somebody who fancies destructive player. He uses box-to-box players. You can attack and you can defend. Those are the players that he likes.
All right, Jason, Jamaica Guna and Jason Guna, you guys can jump in on that take.
Yeah, so Jason Good here. But as I said, JD squad close to mine. The only changes I would make, Ian Frey for Taxi, and
I'll be right
I
back,
would
guys.
bring either Splat or Hector instead of Trivante, because I think we need the help in midfield more. We have enough versatile forwards, like when you go into the Demarai Gray and the Jamal Lewis, that can play wide or up top either. So, I don't think we need necessarily another player like Trivante. I think Antonio and Boza is enough for me as a whole-up player. But some would think otherwise. But I think we need the depth in midfield more than anything, to be honest. So I'd say Free and either Hector or Splat as an option, and I would take out Taxi out of JD team and take out Trivante Stewart.
My side similar to JD one as well. Let me just. You hear me?
Yeah, man. Where are
Yeah,
you,
man?
man?
All right. Yeah. So my side is like this, Brochi. So maybe it's kind of the same goalkeeper them. Same left back. Right back, same thing. All other defensive unit they are the same thing, except for Taxi. Midfield would be basically the same thing. Me recall Michael Hector as a defensive midfielder cover. And I would put as my trump card, I would put in Kaim Paris as a new entry into the side. But basically that's the same side. I would basically on standby, I would have Cephas and Trivante Stewart just in case. But my side would be Blake, Clark, Boyce Clark, waiting goal, left back, Bell and Lee, right back, Lembakisa, Arden, centre back, Pinnock, Low, Bernard and Latibodier. Defender, midfield, Ravel, Hutchinson, John Russell, Michael Hector, and DJ. Left wing would be Gray and Paris, right, and Bailey and Reed on either wings, and then Michael Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, and Jamalo up front. That would be my preferred 23.
Boy, you're rough. We can't wait. Taylor, as they say, when the squad drop, it's gonna be so exciting because me love this because when to be honest, when Tapa was around, we never have this excitement yet over picking a squad. So it's looking good for Jamaica thus far, based on we say we're on a rebuilding process. It's a good start so far. So me hope Grimmy just keep the excitement with the fans. So because we're on the journey and we believe say things are going to happen with Jamaica football going forward with him at the front. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but as I said, if this coach look as if he's logical. So let's see. Every fan is gonna always have people that they don't want to see in the squad. That they are people that they're missing out on. Every fan. That's our job as fans. Is to go on like we are a football expert. But at the end of the day, the coach is gonna pick who he's gonna pick. But with the addition, if you realize most of us have the same core of, let's say, 18 players, and then now outside of that you might have that extra 5 players that it can be any 5 that person liking. But the greatest thing is that we have a squad of maybe 18 players who most fans would go and say, yo, I them man them want in a squad. And then, 5 on the outskirts where you say, yo, it's either Cephas or Paris or Stewart or, or in one of them ball. But the greatest thing is that we have that. But the thing is that this tournament is something that we want to make a statement in. And I'm pretty excited, as I said, bro, because I would like us to go and make a statement in. Basically, I want to go beat up, go boop Jordan and the other side in them head, and Qatar. You see me? Because them not really play, them don't travel well. Those Middle Eastern teams, they do not travel well. When they go outside of them place, them can't show something in a ball. Them not really play that good. So hopefully, them search them luggage so make sure them walk in no desert sand for flinging at the ball of them, yeah. And we can book them and make a statement, give them all a nice 3 love, 4 love. Let the thing look pretty by playing some good football and make a statement going into the Gold Cup. You know what I mean? Because basically this is gonna be a warm-up for the Gold Cup to get a look of gel, get a look of chemistry going with the ball of them. And basically show you where we're moving forward for. And the greatest thing about it is that this is going to be the final tournament, in my opinion, for a lot of these players before the World Cup. You know what I mean? DJ, couple players. If Bird gets selected, he's going to be one of them where this is going to be basically a final tournament. Because if we go to the World Cup, I don't see them being a part of the squad moving forward. So I have to go find replacements for them over the course of the next 2 years or so. So
somebody has say you sound racist, Guna.
I'm a sound racist.
Football hero.
Racist.
Football hero.
or you can't sound racist when you talk about football. Jamaica is a black country, or if you sound racist. I mean, I understand that. Explain that to me.
I talk about fling sand in the eye. Most of that matter.
Oh, yeah, man. No, same thing. Them say, we were in the France. Them said they have to make Jamaica play on artificial turf because if them put it on the grass, we're going to smoke it. So that wasn't racist, man. I saw it going. Insult, fans insult them opponents all the time. As long as they don't bring it to a level of rainbow. But this is really fun.
I was me here the one the Guna.
You never know. Yeah. They said that when we were playing in France, that was an inside joke everybody was using. Oh, we don't want to put the Jamaicans on the grass. We have to play them on artificial turf because if we put them on the grass, they're gonna smoke it.
Jesus Christ. We not smoke. Them don't know say we not smoke bushweed at Jamaica.
They don't realize that we not smoke bush. So, but yeah, man. But as I say, bro, I say what I'm saying, and I take back my talk. I say what I say. I'm hoping that we can go over there and book them at them head, give them a nice 3 love each, and get some good performances out of the ball of them, so that we can go into the Gold Cup, on a good foot and a victory foot. Where going there with confident and we actually can work out some of the players. Them where we know say okay, the players them are gonna do this and thing. And we need a big performance from our big players. Them.
Do we need to win in Austria, Guna? Gunas. It's 2 Gunas on the stream. 2 Gunas.
Yeah, bro.
Like you say, you want to beat them up 3 love and all these things, right? Like, may I ask you, can the coach test out the players that he need to test out and achieve 3 love results?
That many to ask Guna, do we need to win?
Because
how much debutants we have based on how much players we have that have no experience at the international level? It's gonna be Demarai Gray, who we might say is gonna be a starter. But other than that, most of the players them are there are players who are used to international football.
No, but the point I'm making is, no, you're right, But the point I'm making is, do you want these 2 games to look like what the Gold Cup team gonna look like, or do you think it's more important for him to be looking at those fringe players that he's trying to figure out if they're going to make it?
Look on them in a training. Look on them in a training and book them to Middle East country and them head get them to 2 nice 3 love and send them back home. Look on the ball of them in a training, but put out a strong enough squad. Make 1 and 2 changes now and here and there. Let's say for instance you're going to try out my boy named from Manchester United, Deshaun Bernard.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try Deshaun Bernard at centre half beside Lowe or beside Rupert. Then that is okay. 1 or 2 changes. Usually don't want to change up a defensive unit. You want to keep that solid going in. You want them to have some kind of cohesion working together. So you want to basically start with that, and then you can maybe make some changes in midfield. Don't start DJ, start Omari.
Guna, add this to your explanation, Guna. Guna, add this to your explanation. I want you to, because you talk about Deshaun Bernard. If Deshaun Bernard has his documents, plays well in that friendly game at the centre-back position, and now you know that Damian Lowe and Ethan Pinnock is our mainstay, do you move? I don't see the coach moving to a back 3, but now you have a dilemma. How do you work this? Does Deshaun Bernard come off the bench, or how do you move forward with that?
Well, you keep him on the bench. In my opinion, you keep him on the bench and have him learn from the senior people in front of him. You want to carry Deshaun Bernard. You want to carry Latibodir. You want to have these players who are going to be the players that we're going to look for in the future, So that's basically what you want to do. But you need to start with the strongest side, man, especially when it comes to your defensive unit.
Okay.
And I don't think that it would be a dilemma to answer your question. I just think we know what our starting centre half pairing is going to be. I don't think the coach is going to go to a back three, unless he feels him under a whole heap of pressure. But I think we should go there very aggressively and beat up them two sides and build some confidence in the side and basically have, as I said, 1 or 2 tweaks, but we basically going to know what the starting level is going to be. Let's say we're going to know about 8 players who are going to be starters. We know Bailey are going to start. We know Antonio are going to start. We know the 2 defender them are going to start. We know Lambakis are going to start. Amari Ben more than likely are going to start as a starting left back. So we know, we basically have this side where we know these sides. So we maybe have a 1 or 2 tweak. Amari, we might put him at attacking midfield in the middle. You might swap him out with a Ravelli just in case. He's playing more football or so on and so forth. So it's just them little small tweaks, bro. But we basically know that we have at least on the 11 we're gonna have at least 7 players who have international experience. And over these 2 teams, I think that would be enough to defeat them. I think we just use the physicality upon them and book them in head and have good performance. It's not just winning one love, squeezing a little one love. Not about having a performance that will look good playing some nice football, not woof and kick the ball from 90 million miles up the field, but to play some football, put on the ball, knock around the ball, play some football, and then going into the Gold Cup now, we can we have build chemistry or whatever. Test out some players down in the last half of the 88 minutes. You're throwing some man to kind of see if them can blend in with the chemistry at the side, like some new players and so on and so forth. So basically that's what I would like to see happening. But I'm not the coach, so we basically have to just wait and see.
Kevin Williams, I think the reason why Stream Elements is deleting your comments, you're putting cap lock on your comments, where I see that the wordings were huge and highlighted. Maybe that's why Stream Elements is deleting your comments, because I don't see anything wrong in your comments. So I think you have cap lock on, and it's making the wording bold, and it's deleting that.
Stream Elements, I like shouting,
Yeah. So all right. So Jason, so Jamaica Guna is saying it's wap 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 wap. It's supposed to pick up a nice somebody. I think Kevin wrote that there's no way that Jamaica can beat Qatar, even with our first team by 3 goals. We doesn't know what kind of weed you're smoking, Guna. Qatar. I think that Jamaica should win these games. However, we're at a place where
White Ice Melbourne here.
White Ice.
White Ice Melbourne. And nobody would say not Macedonia would stop Italy from going to the World Cup, but they did. And I was on a stream and I saw somebody saying that not Macedonia on our side. And I asked them if Jamaica could have beat Italy. And the person did not answer. The person declined to answer the question. I asked them like 5 times. Could Jamaica beat Italy? Baga talking, baga going. So you can't tell me that. Your opinion is that there's no way, and my opinion is that there is a way. But we're gonna give them 3, and we're all right, and we're happy, and we're going to the Gold Cup looking good. See if we can get some trouble. That is my opinion.
Football hero, nobody is silencing anyone in the comment section. Is Stream Element, and I just saw that RR comment was also bold comment. His wording was they were bold, and it I think he has cap lock on, and I've noticed it got deleted as well. So it's when you
so hold on. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's when you make it's when you make the comments bold, Stream Elements deletes it. So football hero, nobody not silent anybody. Come in and see no comments in the comment section that's been outrageous or anything. Continue, Jason Guna.
No, what me say is that same thing the way I used a while ago with Italy and North Macedonia. This is why this whole woofing and kill them and all this we need to take with time, because here remember Jamaica played Catalonia and we received 6-0. Now, I know that Jamaica, that version of Jamaica was not the Jamaica going into this Gold Cup. I understand all of that, right? But inside the game, I don't remember really creating a chance, taking a shot of note. The other day, Jordan hosts Spain, and this is Spain top team. But Catalonia would have tried to play Spain. I don't know what Spain would have given them, but I know Spain would have win. So when you look on them two things, then we get 6-love from Catalonia. Jordan play them, take 10 shot, 4 on target, and lose 3-1. Now, I know them a host the game, and maybe them did a fling sun, as we gonna say. But at the end of the day, when you just take on the time with this, we're gonna whap up them side there. You understand? It not gonna be so easy for us to whap them up. That's all me I say, because when you use the same analogy like you just use with Italy and Macedonia, it lead me to believe say them the game against Jordan are tight. So when you think about that.
Yes, so Guna, what do you have to say?
I can respond?
Yep. Yeah, man.
I can respond, bro, G?
Yeah, man.
More bigger than that side. You come tell me about me not approaching a game cautious. Me a fan of Jamaica more, me side book them than them head that more. It not must happen. We don't know, we can't tell the future. We do not know. But when you're going into a football game and you're going against a side, you're going confident, and I'm very confident that we're going to book them at the mid side. So if you're saying, we have to be cautious, that is just your opinion, and I respect your opinion, but I totally disagree with it. I want to go out there with a strong side and book them in the mid side and give them about a nice 3-love and feel good. I never say we got 6 cards. Jamaica traditionally do not score a lot of goals, right? So I feel like we'll give them a 6-love, but I don't think if Michael Antonio starts in these games or he plays in these games, I don't think those Jordan defenders are going to be able to manage him.
Yes,
that is my opinion.
That's why originally when he did bring it up, me did say, what is the real goal of these games? You know, Michael Antonio play 180 minutes and kill out himself before USA? No, we know say Michael Antonio go. Yes, he might have to get reps, but suppose him decide to play more in the Qatar game and then not play at all in the job. All me I say is a lot of variables in play to say.
Ideally, I don't want Michael Antonio. Ideally, I wouldn't want Michael Antonio to go to these 2 matches. Yeah. Personally, I would rather him not get picked, and I would rather Stewart goes. You know, that's my personal opinion. I would rather Stewart goes and have him on standby. As I say, I have Stewart and Cephas on my personal list of standbys. Just in case we have any injuries or anything like that, we can pull in these 2 players to kind of, cover.
But that shouldn't be a problem. That shouldn't be a problem because, to my knowledge, they're taking more than just 23 to Austria. So I would expect Trivante to be in the 30. Is the argument me of is if him 23?
Well, if it's 30, they're taking to Austria. Trivante should be in there, and I don't think Antonio for go and be a little bit and get himself some rest because we want him fresh for the Gold Cup.
Well, I think Antonio's presence is needed just because in this camp, I'm sure the coach will want to work on like set piece and tactical stuff that they're going to use in the Gold Cup. So you need him there in the sessions. But I don't think he's as necessary in the actual games. That is when he can get in kind of rest and recovery. Because of course, he might have a game coming up when I think it's tomorrow they might play.
Tomorrow, I have a game tomorrow. The conference finals tomorrow.
I play the final tomorrow, and if things go well for him, obviously I'll go back to England and go celebrate to his side. So, hopefully.
That is why I'm saying that just give him some holidays. I wouldn't call him up. I would just make him go and build. I think he's professional enough and good enough to come into the Gold Cup squad at the last when the Gold Cup is ready, and to kick on from there. I think because we know what he offers and he's been playing. So I think the chemistry maybe, but you have a point there though, as it relates to like set pieces and stuff. But I think if he doesn't go, I think Shamar is enough for the Jordan players. And I think, as I said, I want the players to go in this with the mindset that they're trying to prove a point. And if they do that, then it's not just going and say, oh, we are going easy and we're going to realize a holiday with the pan. No, it's going with the aggression for say we're trying to prove a point and going there and giving a good account of themselves. Not a good account of themselves. Go in there and book the man in the head, give them a nice 3-love each, and send them back over Middle East. That is it.
Kevin Williams say him cap lock stuck on him computer for about 2 years now. Yo, whatever you wonder, but RR wants to know, and I'm gonna pass this question on to you guys. He wants to know what should be the objective for Jamaica. I think the objective should be to create the depth of our team should be players who are ready to go. Players who can get into the starting lineup, push the players in the starting lineup and compete for a starting spot. And I think we should then also figure out who the fringe players are who are ready enough to be on this journey, big up yourself, man of God, and try to get these situations solved in this Qatar game. As with Jamaica Guna said, the Gold Cup is not a competition, I think, where we start experimenting to find out who our best players are or who our best team, what's our best team. I think these two games is the time where we experiment. But this is where the problem comes in, guys. Experiment comes with failure. When you're experimenting, things are gonna fail sometimes and it's not gonna work out, and you're not and we have to go back to the drawing board. If Jamaica goes there to just fine tune what we have and the coach is okay with the fringe players that he brought in, I think Jamaica should win these two games easily. That's my expectation. But if we're going to go there and experiment on our best starting formation, our best starting lineup, players that we want to rotate for certain players, I think that the win can be a bit tricky there, Jay Saguna and Jamaica Guna. Marlon, what is your objective in these two games, or what should be the objective of the Jamaica head coach in these two games in Austria? Your mic is muted. So let me know what should be the objective. If Marlon is not ready to jump in, Jay Saguna or Jamaica Guna, what's your objectives in these games? Your mics are muted, yeah.
Well, seriously, for the joke aside, I think we should use these warm-up games as warm-up and keep the core there, but bring in some other elements that maybe can we can have some little tactical flexibility. But do that without changing too much. We have 11 players on the field. Don't be changing 8 players. You know what I mean? Keep a core of players there, especially the defensive unit, because we're gonna be doing a lot of defending in the Gold Cup, right? So keep our defensive unit steady and tweak here and there, as I said, tactical flexibility. If you want to go to a back three, try that out, but try that out, let's say in the 78th minute. You understand what I'm saying to you? After we're leading 2-love or 3-love or 2-1 or 3-1, we try that down at that part, so when we have the room to do it. But I think we should use this as a warm-up. We should use this as a dress rehearsal for the Gold Cup as it relates to tactical, the formation, tactics that we're gonna play counter-attacking, are we gonna put down the ball and play some possession football, are we gonna play wolf, kick the ball from defense to forward and bypass the whole midfield? What are we gonna play? So I think we should use this to work out those little details.
Yeah, Jamaica Guna, you have a song named Wolf? Maybe you need to make a song there, brother. You need a song there for Jamaica Reggaeboyz. A song named Wolf. New dance, see some Wolf. What you say, Jason Guna?
You want A&R the next album or the EP?
Yeah, man, that song there. You man, I forgot to make that song there, man, named Wolf, because the name they just stick, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be featuring me. I'm gonna feature the former coach of the Reggaeboyz, because he's a person who inspired it.
No, and you know what you have to use for the intro? You have to use the top of intro.
Make sure you give him a loud mic.
No, if you use the top of intro where you say it's better to get a pretty loss than an ugly a pretty win or an ugly loss. And that's the intro for his song, man.
Pretty loss better than ugly win. Yeah. No, but to Guna point, I think that these couple games and this camp is all about balance, because you want to have the team that you think is gonna be a team that you're relying on, getting a little bit of reps on the field together in an actual game situation, but then you don't want to burn them out. So I think the key for these two games is just balance from the coach. The coach obviously don't want to go into the tournament losing games.
Exactly.
And the coach obviously don't want to burn out the players. So he's just gonna have to find the balance. And this is the reason why, we go out and we spend money on a coach, because these are the situations and the decisions that can make or break a tournament, So God forbid him go strong and somebody pick up something and then we can't use them, So him really gonna have to be strategic, him distribute the minutes around. And I think at some point of the two games, I would like to see what's looking like the team that we're going to use against USA on the field together, because you have to kind of play with that team and get some reps out of them and try to work on some of the things you want to implement in the actual tournament. But I think it's all about the balance. So I think one of the games, you'll see something more similar to what we're going to see in the Gold Cup. And in the other game, you'll see a more fringe type lineup. So just look forward to which game him decide to go one way or the other.
Yes. And thank you again, guys. Thank you, everybody. That streamer go way overboard. But yo, it was another good one. Bless up yourself, Martin Baker. Bless up Jace Guna. And big up everybody in the comment section. Eric Swell, just forward. JT, you feel say they will bring Whisper and give him maybe so last 15 to 20 minutes. Eric Swell still a beat it for Whisper, you know. I personally think Eric Swell that what's working against Whisper right now is that he's not playing football. So, and football is based on what have you done for me lately or your experience. And Whisper is lacking both of those. He's not, what has he done lately? He hasn't played football and he doesn't have the experience. You had something to say,
What I would
Jamaica
like to
Gona?
know, Jay Taylor, I would like to ask the commenter. If you had the choice between Colin Anderson, Trivante Stewart, and Whisper, who would you carry?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Because I'm taking Trivante Stewart. Based on what I've seen yesterday, I'm taking Trivante Stewart. But I still would want Whisper and those kids in the practice game, Guna. I would want them in the practice game, to be honest with you. That practice game, because I think it doesn't do the players enough justice where you take 11 random youngsters and put them on a field together against a mature national team, which was Trinidad. A lot of people might say Trinidad is not there when it comes on to quality, but Trinidad was still more advanced than the Jamaica team that we put out there. So I would want to see some of those
them
youngsters.
play better ball still, you know. Them play better ball than Jamaica, you know.
No, they were, and they were a better team.
Technically, they look better. And in all seriousness, you know, Qatar will not be a side will not be a walkover.
No,
especially I haven't
no.
seen much, but I've seen Qatar and they're a ball playing team. They will put down the ball and they will knock it around. I think what happened with them is that they got overpowered by pace and they got overpowered by power because a lot of people just bully them. But away from that, technically, I think they are going to be a better side technically than Jamaica in terms of the technique. But in terms of our pace and our power, I think we're superior to them in that regard. But don't take them lightly. Qatar is not a walkover side, but I still believe and I still want us to go and book them on them head side. But they're not going to be a walkover side. They're not going to be a weak side, you know?
But finally figure it out, Guna. You just go from a standpoint of like motivation. So you say, yo, you want to see a side. But when you are reasoning it out, it sounds different. That's why I'm kind of confused. But I understand now exactly where I come from.
I'm glad to say understand and I get it. We all are fans, you know. So as a fan, I'm speaking, I do not coach a side. I have no saying what the side does out there. All I'm saying as a fan, this is what I want, and I'm not being unrealistic in wanting this. I'm not going to say we're going to play against Spain, because I heard people saying that we're going to beat up Catalonia. You know?
Okay, wow.
Apparently they didn't know what Catalonia is. I heard people saying on streams prior to the Catalonia game, say we're going to beat up Catalonia because they are not a real country. Me for Catalonia already in a real life. I mean, you didn't know so we couldn't beat Catalonia, bro.
Oh my God. I don't think that you know what, Guna, I don't think a lot of people who said that knew that Catalonia was actually in Spain.
No, them know, so they know Catalonia from Barcelona, man, but enough man, they just feel like, them look on Barcelona, them look on Catalonia side, and just so, me not see no big side on Catalonia, so no big baller where. But then when them realize, I'm so, them man, they left away and them man there. Yeah, brother, if you go Catalonia and you bring Catalonia under 15 side, if you play against Jamaica under 20 side, them are going to beat we.
Jesus Christ.
Technically, them are going to outclass. Them have one way of playing football and them stick to the way there. From them a 1 year old and them get one ball, them know that way they play football. One way they play football.
But Guna, them statement they just make you know say Jamaicans don't really watch football because who are the teams in CONCACAF that give you the biggest problems? None of them will put on the ball and pass it.
Yeah.
Exactly,
so anytime we're going to play a highly technical team that use passing as their best attribute, Jamaica will
Jamaica a lot
always
of
struggle.
problem. Yes.
Yes, because we don't
always
keep
a
the
chase.
football. Yeah, exactly. We don't keep the football enough to break up the other team rhythm. I really that Trinidad use and kill, just passing and movement,
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
we
As I said,
chase
if
the
you
ball.
watch back the match, some people need to go back and watch back the Trinidad match there. Because when they watch back them two Trinidad match there, technically speaking, my bro, matter about technique. Technique-wise, Trinidad was superior to Jamaica. What we had was pace and power. That is what Jamaica have going for us.
But
Pace
Guna, we
and
also
power.
had a random
Technique-wise,
team
them
out
better than
there. We had a random team out
Yeah.
there as well, Guna.
We had a random team out there. Listen, my brother. Let me show you our vibes. You have a thing called football culture. Cool? Now, how football culture work is this? Let me give an example, like we're talking about Catalonia. There's a team in Catalonia called Barcelona. There's a team in Catalonia called Real Sociedad. There's a team in Catalonia called Girona. I've never seen Real Sociedad play. I've seen Girona play, and I've gone to Barcelona training already when Neymar did it. Cool? All right. The whole of the man them have one way of playing football. That's called football culture. They have one way of playing football. All of the man them learn to play ball one way. Them play throughout the entire Spain. All the teams them in Spain play basically the same formation. So you will take a player from Girona and he improves so much that he goes to Real Sociedad, and then he improves so much that he goes to Barcelona, and him know what him to do already from him a little picnic. There's a thing called football culture. Now, what Trinidad is trying to do is trying to develop a football culture. Jamaica is not doing that. We haven't done that because we do not know. Every team in a JPL play different. There's no, everybody play the same formation. Everybody play the same way. Okay, we're going to use two wing back. We're going to use two right back. One right back, one left back, sorry, right? We're going to know, so one of them are inverted. So one of them, when the team is attacking, is going to drop in midfield. It's going to be the left back or it's going to be the right back. One of the center of them are going to shift cross for cover, a counter attack coming down that channel there. We're going to have a defensive midfielder. You are going to basically win the ball and pass on the ball to the players ahead of you if we are better on attacking. We're going to have a striker. That striker is going to move within this channel and within that channel. So if you take out that striker there and drop in another striker and do the exact same thing, it might not be to the same level as your lead striker, because that is why he's a second striker, or he's a reserve. But he's going to do it because he know him job. So everybody are going to do the job to the same level, but them are going to do the same job. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So if you have a company, let's say you have a company that builds cup, everybody's not going to put out the same quality cup because people are going to use different material, people are going to use different machinery, but at the end of the day, the cup is going to be the same. It's going to be different quality, but it's going to be the same kind of cup. Now, that is what Jamaica problem is. We do not have a culture of football. We do not know. We do not have somebody that the only person that I see came here and tried to implement that was Rene Simoes when he went down to the under-20s and went down to under-22 and he tried to bring a culture. Everybody's supposed to play the same. Now, if you look at Jamaica side, no. Our senior team does not play like our under-20 team. Our under-20 team does not play like our under-17. Our under-17 does not play like our under-15. What we should have is that we have a way of playing, a culture, a way of playing that under-15 play under-17, like the under-20, like the under-23, like the senior side. Everybody have the same way of playing. They play the same formation, then play the same way. One inverted. Let's as example. Let's say one inverted, one go down the wing. We don't know that. Everybody play different based on the individuals that are there. We don't have a system, and I've heard Craig Butler say it many times, say that Jamaica don't have a system. That is where you want to get a system. That means that everybody, no matter which year, age, whatever, then play under a system. So once a player comes out, you're swapping back a player who understands the system. Let me give you an example. Arsenal have Kieran Tierney from last year, one of the best left back play for we. For the last 2 years, I think he was even up there with player of the season for us.
Close to it, yeah.
Comes Zinchenko. Arteta decides that he's gonna play Zinchenko as an inverted midfielder, right? When Kieran Tierney comes into the side play different because him not fit in our system because him can't invert. So when Kieran Tierney comes in at the side, because him cannot invert, I don't do it as well as Zinchenko does. we have to go use an inverted right back. So we have to get our right back now start invert when Tierney up on the side. So now we're in a dilemma where we probably have to sell Tierney because he's that good, but him just doesn't fit the system that we want to play, which is one of the wing back them inverted and one of them do the normal job of a wing back. We overlap on them something. So one of them tuck in and one of them overlap. We do not have that in Jamaica. We don't have a culture of a specific way of playing. We can say that is a Jamaican identity. We do not have that, bro. So that is that is what Trinidad is trying to develop now. That is why I think they suspended football for a couple of years and they're trying to build back them thing. And don't be surprised if you see them start to improve rapidly.
Yeah,
you gonna get me?
Yeah, man. That's
so that's me I try to.
And just
it's a ball playing. It's when they do it as well. You know, Qatar do it as well. Qatar do the situation in which they suspended their local league and they focused on getting the team to play a specific way. So they're not going to be a walkover because them have a lot of pride on the line as well. And them are trying to get them football up to a level where there is a system of playing that they can say this is the Qatar way of playing. They're going to be a ball playing side. Them and put on the ball, them and knock it on. We're going to have problems with them in that regard, but I think we can overpower them. So I don't know about Jordan. As I said, I have maybe one little snippet I see with Jordan. I don't really know how them play ball or whatever, but I just know say, I'm sorry, go out there, go put them in the head.
Yeah, no. And me want them put them in the head too as well. But what I'm going to say about the whole football culture thing, I don't think it's a situation where Jamaica wouldn't want to have a football culture, you know. But you know, one of the reasons why a football culture can be formed in a country, it takes a lot of humility on the part of the people who run the football. And the reason why I say that is, in a let's take for example, what's a country you just used that redid it? All right, Trinidad, right? Now when Trinidad stopped them league, I said, okay, we're gonna try to implement a football culture that we can teach to every level age group in our country, right? That means say a bunch of coaches have to come together and try to formulate what they're going to call them football culture. Now you imagine Rudolph Speed, Craig Butler, Tapper, Lenny Hyde, and all of them sitting in our room. How far you think that conversation never reach? Before man tell man about them parts and all kind of things. So we have to have an absence of pride in order to have one football culture in Jamaica. And I don't know if the mentality of our people reach this up. That is something where we need to work on if we're going to reach to something like that. Because that means a lot of minds will have to come together and agree on an actual culture. And we can't even sit down in a room without man tell people about their mother. So me just don't know how it would have worked.
Boy, you're rough, Jason. Rough, man. Eli, you there?
Okay.
Roland welcome. And the mentality of the people have to change for the actual change be able to happen. That is a fact, Malcolm. That is a fact.
All right, people. Did I line up to make some dinner for the little one? The stream was supposed to end a long time ago, but thank you again, everybody. Thank you again. It's been a long one today. It's been a long one today. So, hopefully the squad, as I said, the squad will be out this week. and we can come back and chop it up. Thank you again for Jamaican Guna. Thank you for Jason Guna. Thank you all the Gunas them. Roland Malcolm. Thank you for coming in. RR Chelsea, the whole team. Everybody, big up on yourself. Until next time, guys. Sooner. Blessings.